to you by Pfizer. In this video, you're going to see the future.
Hey, you're awakening. You're wonderful. Thanks for coming. Thanks for joining us for Stay Free on Russell Brand. You might be watching this on Twitter.
Ooh, dear,
Twitter. To get verified, you might be watching this on YouTube. Do the WHO know you're there? Does your mum know you're out this late? Or you might already be watching us on Rumble, the home of free speech, where no matter what they tell you, this is a place where people can come together in peace to share opinions that potentially might damage the onward march of an authoritarian movement which seeks to dominate the globe and prevent you from communicating freely. We're going to be having a look at the departure of Tucker Carlson from Fox and why the Pentagon is so delighted. Sometimes I think this about radical liberals and whose views I respect and in so many cases absolutely align with. Why are they happy to be on the same side of the Department of Defense and the Pentagon on any sort of issue at all? Like when you imagine Woodstock, the late 60s, the civil rights movement, the great hot stirrings of the summer of 68, a countercultural movement, the women's movement, all these powerful voices, they weren't in alliance with big businesses and with the state. They were anti-establishment. It's so extraordinary to me how things have changed. We're going to be talking to Max Blumenthal from the Grey Zone a little bit later. We will not be able to have this conversation on YouTube. I think it would be dangerous, even on Elon Musk's Twitter, even within his great citadel of free speech. Would you be able to openly talk about 9/11 and the CIA? There's a link in the description. Click on the Rumble. We're going to be talking to Max Blumenthal, a fine journalist, founder of the Grey Zone, about recent revelations I can't go into here. If they're true, it's another one of those things where the conspiracy theorists had a point. And how many of those have you seen lately? But before we get into that potentially contentious story, Sacre Bleu, France is... What's French for fire? Do you know any French?
Not a thing, no.
You're supposed to know stuff like
Am I?
that. I look at you and I think you would at least know a bit of French because you can play a certain instrument that has French in it.
Yeah.
Why can't you speak even a word of French? Not even... Call yourself an on-screen assistant? Is that what your credit is now?
I don't know what it is now.
Let's have a look at what's going on. Let's have a look at what's going on in France. It looks actually like riots because people have been lied to. Let's have a look.
Tonight, tensions boiling over in France. Hundreds of thousands taken to the streets across the country.
That French
Yo.
copper. Go back a bit and have a look again. That French copper booted that bin himself.
Morning.
What? You're meant to be... There's no need for that. You're in the police force. A lot of people are posting words for fire in France. A lot of people say it's fuego. That's Spanish.
That's
you can
Spanish.
join us on Locals. Press that red button. Become a part of our Locals community. They're so friendly in there. They talk about anything. Spirituality, mental health, conspiracy theories. You know the sort of things people talk about. It's lovely in there. They're all kind to each other. Hello, Stone Owen. Hello, Meady. Hello, all of you. You can join the Locals community. You get a weekly guided meditations. You get to learn more about the community. But now, for a French copper kicking a trash can, let's see him.
Streets across the country, protesting against President Emmanuel Macron's move to raise the retirement age by 2 years to 64.
There you go. Ongoing riots and discontent in France because the people there have seen that democracy.
They get to retire at
isn't working.
64 in France?
They were rioting outside the offices of BlackRock, weren't they, Gareth? Because they know that this is about centralized finance usurping the process of
Sweet.
democracy.
How long do you think
I'm
it's going
always
to take?
struck by this, that we are one planet in limitless, potentially infinite space, and on the same little planet with essentially the same kind of interests. And I'm, by the way, not suggesting that there should be centralized power, far from it, decentralized power at every opportunity. But on the same planet, there's those riots and there's the Met Gala, which I don't know if you know this. It's sort of like people dress up in outrageous outfits. Have a look at this footage from the Met Gala the other day. People are dressing up as mouses, as cat. Look at this. I think this is the lad at Dallas Buyers Club. Yep. He got himself all nice and thin. He's actually tried to start a cult, I think.
Leto, isn't it?
Yeah, he played a thin. No, it's Matthew McConaughey.
He's the one that got.
He
off
was
there.
he's been on our podcast before. I like Matthew McConaughey. He's a good
No,
actor.
he's great. He's great.
He is good,
But
isn't
he's
he?
not who's inside this cat. just
It's
to be
the other
clear.
lad.
Yeah,
It's the other lad at a Dallas Buyers Club.
that's it.
He's dressed up as a giant mouse. Look, what's he?
No, it's a cat.
That's all right. Right, this just in. Matthew McConaughey's dressed as a mouse. That's no less stupid than what's happening. Jared Leto out of Dallas Buyers Club,
Yeah.
Joker, he's dressed up as a cat. Why? Why is that happening? Like, just in your mind, hold the image of that French copper kicking a bin because French democracy's been usurped after all those revolutions and guillotinings they've done. Look at the Met Ball. It's mental. Have a look at this whole story. It's crazy.
At fashion's biggest night, the cat is out of the bag.
Mr. Leto!
This year's theme, an homage to the late Karl
Gotcha.
Lagerfeld, known for his signature black and white designs.
How like they went
You know how it
signature,
goes.
they showed Karl Lagerfeld doing the signature, then they went black and white designs and they showed a black and white picture of him. Like, not every word needs to be illustrated
Yeah.
with an image. It's too much,
Yeah.
isn't it? It's too overwhelming.
They were catatonic about
What? Like a tonic, a cat. It's too much. Like, this is an homage to Karl Lagerfeld at the Met Ball. These things I remember, because remember when I used to be famous?
Oh yeah.
Don't say it like that.
No, I remember it.
I
I
was-
was there for a lot of
I was
it.
being famous,
Yeah.
and like things like that Met Ball would happen, and I've never been to that,
Oh, you didn't go to the Met.
but when I was married to Kate
Yeah.
Perry, I remember she went to that, and I was like, oh, do you have to go to that thing? But
Yeah.
she wanted to,
Well,
and
yeah.
that's her right as a free individual, of course, and she did go. And like everyone goes there, they all dressed up like that. It's mental, isn't it?
Yeah. What was your reason for like staying home? Just fancy the night in or something?
I don't like things like that, mate.
Right.
I don't like things like that. It makes me nervous.
Did you maybe like you bought a curry or something? You're like, we'll have a night in. Don't go off to the Met. We'll have a nice night in.
I'd have been doing something. So I'm not trying to say, oh, look at me, aren't I normal? Because
Yeah.
I'm strange in so many ways.
Right.
But like when it comes to that, I don't like it.
I think you are pretty normal. I'll be
I am.
honest.
Am I?
A night in with you is about as far away from that
I'd
as
rather
possible.
watch football,
Yeah.
have something to eat,
Little curry, got your trays.
got my tray on my lap, like when we watched Man City Arsenal.
Yeah.
Mate, if you want to put a cushion, look, I'll be honest with you, my tray's already got a cushion built into the tray.
Get an extra cushion, put it on.
Put it
That's
on
a
your
little
tray.
tip from me.
So you can have that for free. Like, I know, because you can't. That's the thing with doing this job all day long. NATO is corrupt. This war, we're being lied about. You can't trust the pharmaceutical industry. We're being censored and surveilled. But when you're going home, you're just like a normal person. Right, kids? And they don't talk to you. What did you do at school? Tell us something. Tell us something that you did at school. You like, they won't
You
tell
went to
you.
the Met Gala?
I'm just back from the Met Gala. Dallas Buyers Club was dressed as a giant cat. What? What's going on? Meanwhile, France is melting down. It's too confusing. Life's too confusing. Look at the rest of the stuff they're wearing. Like, there's a bit where it goes, Karl Lagerfeld really liked dressing up in pearls, so everyone there's got loads of pearls on. It's so weird.
Yeah.
Janelle Monáe in head-to-toe black and white.
Not nice. That's stupid. Isn't it, that? Like, that's what you wear
This
at
your
pantomime.
Item on Russell on fashion.
I once went to Africa because of Ollie, like the country was called, I think, Uganda. I think it was
Yeah.
that country within
Yeah.
Africa.
Comic relief.
It was a comic relief British charity to raise money for all sorts of stuff. Anyway, I went there and they took me to this rubbish dump and it was so depressing. I nearly had a mental breakdown just being there half hour and people lived there like little kids were there foraging in the dump.
Why that might be. The judge who is presiding over the case, who we'll learn a little bit more about, ripped into the first son for sealing and redacting his financial information. She said, the ability to redact is being somewhat abused. The judge's name is Holly Meyer. She said, I'm seeing a lot of filings lately, especially by Hunter's counsel, sealing things, redacting things that are not confidential. Now, the judge is Holly Meyer, and I pulled up a quick bio from her. She's a judge for the 16th Circuit of Arkansas, elected to the bench in 2018. Prior to her election, she was a prosecutor, named that in 2017, spent 1 year as a judge previous to that, graduated law school, was a prosecutor after law school, and now is a judge. The judge suggested that lawyers for Miss Roberts should subpoena a downtown Manhattan art gallery to find out exactly how much Hunter has made from selling his art. Woo! I like that suggestion. That's a great suggestion from the judge. And you remember Hunter had his mucus COVID vomit paintings that he was selling out of the George S. Burgess Gallery for who knows how much. And the reason why we speculated that they were now selling art is because art is very hard to price. It's very subjective, which means that somebody can say, I think that's worth about $500,000. And you say, why? It looks like a bowl of moldy milk that somebody left in the sink for too long. I think it's beautiful. Here's $500,000, Hunter. And who can contest it? So a subpoena over to that art gallery, more about that would be nice. The judge ordered Hunter to produce more financial documents to back his claim that he should be allowed to reduce the amount that he gives to Miss Roberts. So he kind of brought this upon him a little bit, because he could have just said, well, I'll just give you whatever you want. Here it is. Rather, he is contesting it. Roberts and Biden came to face for the first time since she gave birth to Navy Joan, the young girl who is now 4 years old. We saw Hunter Biden in court with a suit and tie. Miss Roberts was there as well. Biden occasionally looked across the courtroom over at Miss Roberts. She was there with her parents, but she avoided eye contact. Neither party was called to testify, so Hunter didn't have to speak. Their legal teams there were sparring over disclosure requests, and apparently there's going to be depositions in June and a trial in July. Miss Roberts' lawyer, named Clint Lancaster, reeled off a list of items that he claimed Hunter's team had not answered and explained properly in their discovery responses. Now, I also looked into this fellow, Clint Lancaster. This is his law firm. You see he's got a couple practice areas: election integrity legislation, lobbying, bankruptcy. He's made multiple appearances on the media, and they operate out of Arkansas. And if you go over to his Twitter account, you'll see, I believe this is his. Looks like this account joined November 2014. He has a photograph of himself in front of a Trump poster. And he posted new profile pic after an interview with Fox News after the hearing in Arkansas. Presuming this is his account. Doesn't seem like it's a new account because it was created back in 2014. He may be becoming a little bit more active on it, and we know a little bit more about what he does. Clint reeled off a list of items that he claimed Hunter's team had not answered. He said these included a line in Hunter's tax returns referencing a $9 million investment in a Chinese entity. Oh, that's interesting. Biden's hotshot DC lawyer, Abe Lowell, he shot back. He says, it's wrong. That's not what it states, Judge. The judge said, okay, this is what happened. See this right here, what's happening right now? This is a perfect illustration of why Hunter has to be more open about this stuff. Robert's lawyer asked Hunter's team why he didn't list any of the hotel stays over the 5-year period. Why didn't he put those on his financial disclosures? There was a single occasion where he slept on a cot in his dad's room. So if that's not included in his financial disclosures, is it accurate at all? His lawyers insisted it was accurate. Lancaster, Miss Roberts' lawyer, also said he was missing the names of Hunter's art buyers, not on the list, and the valuations of the paintings, which are on display at George S. Burgess, the COVID Hunter mucus paintings. Hunter, for the first son, an attorney for the first son, they tried to explain that he does not know the identities of his art buyers, unable to influence his father's administration. No, I have no idea where this money comes from. That way I'm separated from it, so I don't get biased. So 500 grand just shows up in his bank account. And I don't know where it came from. No, he's not out at dinner and somebody says, "Hey, Hunter, good to see you. Yeah, I love your work, by the way. Do you know who I work with?" They tried to explain that it's arm's length distance. Give me a break. But the judge said she found it, quote, incredible that his lawyers couldn't give an idea of the prices. What are you talking? You can't even give me a ballpark? She then told Robert's lawyer that he could subpoena the gallery to find out more. Man, I'm sure George S. Burgess is not happy about that. And I'm sure that all of those identities of those art buyers are not happy about that. They thought that they would get away with this. We've got more photographs of Lancaster out at the court. Hunter's responses in court also failed to specify how much money he had been handed by his sugar brother pal called Kevin Morris. Hollywood lawyer loaned Hunter $2.8 million, just a small $2.8 million loan to pay off a tax bill. Judge Meyer said, no, him being a concerned friend who just loans you $2.8 million, not good enough for me to produce more information there, Hunter, says the judge. She said specifically, quote, that's a pretty lame answer. When it was Hunter's turn to complain about Roberts, his team brought up Garrett Ziegler, who is a friend of this channel, has a great interview posted here. A former Trump administration staffer and a longtime Hunter nemesis said that he has not seen so much as a resume or a report from him, and responded by pulling out a copy of the 644-page analysis that Ziegler prepared called the Hunter Biden Laptop Report, available at marcopolousa.org. So he pulled that open and he slammed it on the table in the courtroom, which means Hunter knows that they have that. He then handed a massive stack of papers entitled Robert Biden's Laptop to an incredulous Langdon, saying, that's all I have. Roberts agreed to hand over paperwork about her car lease, her house, her work, her father's gun business. Both parties agreed to turn.
And I couldn't get into the right mood. You know how you're meant to be on the telethon? Like, for just £1, I was like, that's not going to work. £1. This is mental. This is not going to be reversed by donations. This is evidence of a systemic problem. Yeah. We're going to have to radically, no, just say send £1, dial 0181. You know what I mean? They're trying to keep it on that tip, but I was having a mental breakdown. So, like, then the next day, because I was like in like my mad world of Hollywood and all that stuff, I was in like a John Galliano fashion show in Paris. Wow. And like, it was too hard to hold together the images of all of that mad suffering in Uganda. And then seeing like this show of John Galliano where there were these beautiful bubbles full of smoke and people marching down a catwalk. I thought, hold on a minute, this is the same planet. This can't be right that this is happening. Something is deeply systemically wrong if you can simultaneously have that level of suffering. I tried to envisage it as one individual. If it was one individual, like a female, it was like putting lipstick on her face and it was all beautiful. And then you look down like her leg and it was also had all maggots in a hastily amputated stump. You go, you want to sort that out? Yeah. Well, yeah, like all beautiful, but then hastily amputated stump, all maggots in it.
You should get someone to paint that. That'd be nice.
Paint it.
Yeah.
I bet AI. Get Chat GPT to do it.
Do that.
Do it now. We're talking about AI because either the fella, right, this is the news. This is paraphrased news. Google man, the godfather of Google.
That's right.
He said he regrets everything he'd done. It's gone too far, AI, and he wished he'd shutted it down.
Pretty much, yeah.
That's he's gone, I've gone too far. It's gone too far. But before we'll talk about Google man in a minute, we're going to talk to Max Blumenthal later about, I mean, I can't believe it's true, but you know the story, CIA, 9/11, all that stuff. Let us know in the chat how you're feeling, baby. Let's get someone here saying, I'm sorry for your mental illness. It's all right. I don't mind. mind, my mental, like, look, there's no harm in being maladjusted to a maladjusted world. It is ordinary to suffer in a world where the value systems are so out of alignment with our evolution, where our diet is out of step, where our lifestyles are out of step. If you're like, this is fine, I like this, then I don't know, man.
We've all got to be a bit mentally ill to be able to process this kind of imagery with then France or Ukraine or Uganda, whatever it is. It's incredible that we can do it and then just get on with our lives.
Do you remember the Oscars they done the year of COVID, and they sort of did it in some weird basement?
Yeah.
But they still did the Oscars.
Yes, yeah, right.
Out of respect, we're doing the Oscars, gonna do it down an alley. Don't do the Oscars anymore. Either give me one or stop them. One of those things.
I guess the place where the two kind of come together was that what we spoke about yesterday, which is that White House correspondence ball, whatever it is. It's the kind of the way in which like show business and this kind of ridiculousness come together with the politics.
This is where at that White House Correspondents' Dinner is where the consensus is achieved by the centers of administrative power, aka the president, and those that are supposed to report on it. It ain't that long ago that Woodward and Bernstein are like, wait a minute, we're going to bring down these sons of guns. But now it's like, all right, what do you want us to write about? What questions don't you want to ask? We'll give you the questions in advance.
We've got this celebrity to our table, like Ryan Grimm told us about.
Ryan Grimmy Grimm, he was on the show. Was that yesterday's show? Yeah, it was an amazing show, but he did admit to giving Jesse Walters an almighty kick on the tip of the prinkle, didn't he?
He didn't say that, yeah.
I don't think I'm being unfair when I say that that's what he admitted to. Also, there's another one of these stories that's a bit like that odd coagulation of this paradoxical imagery, but we'll work that out after we've seen this lady in this outfit.
Kristen Stewart, Vanessa Hudgens, and Jenna Ortega sticking to that color scheme.
Over, I think. That one, General Ortega.
Wow, what an exclusive.
Giselle Bundchen.
I know her.
I think.
I'll say, right, this just in, guys. Firstly, 9/11 CIA, we'll tell you about it in a minute. I know her, mate. I know her.
I reckon.
We can trust this guy.
In all white for her first time back to the Met Gala as a single lady.
Single lady. So it's banal gossip. I bet that gazelle, she's superb, I imagine. Brilliant, beautiful, incredible. These are not critiques of these individuals. This is a critique of a sort of really crazy system where people are dressing up as cats and stuff for reasons that still seem confusing to me.
And our own Rhiannon Alley, gorgeous in all black. Lagerfeld, also known for his pearls. Serena Williams sporting
pearls. Lagerfeld, known for his pearls. Also, though, everything is collapsing. Everything. France is on fire. There are unnecessary
US
wars.
banks are collapsing seemingly every week now.
No banks now. All your money, it's gone. Meanwhile, you're spending $1,000 every year funding the military-industrial complex. Don't think about that, because we got a guy out of Dallas Buyers Club, but he's dressed as mouses. Look at that, though. Mouses. Like, it's not normal to have that happen.
It isn't.
I don't think so.
her own on the carpet. Lizzo, too. And Kim Kardashian wearing 50,000 freshwater pearls. Her dress took its makers 1,000 hours to complete. But
there's definitely nothing better that could have been done with that 1,000 hours.
No.
Like, we've lost touch. Again, these are not criticisms of these individuals. I know what it's like to be part of that world. I was briefly part of that world. But what I sense is that we are participating in a gala of banality while there are serious things that need to be addressed. And these things don't work either, even for the people that are going there. Hedonism doesn't really work, ultimately. It's like that, even though William Blake says the road of excess leads to the palace of wisdom, I think what Blake is saying is that through excess, you recognize that the material world can never really fulfill you, and that the wisdom is, and again, this is not about asceticism and the denial of pleasure. I have no judgment about how other people live, whether they drink or whether they use drugs, although of course illegal drugs, while we're on YouTube you can't say stuff like that, or sex and sexuality and consensual situations, it's no one's business, etc. But this kind of orgasm of idiocy that sits at the heart of our culture, to me, seems like an indication that we're on the wrong path, perhaps. And look at this story. This is extraordinary because it ties us to a different time. Many of you love it when we have Graham Hancock on the show because he's willing to talk about Egyptology and culture and potential ancient civilizations from a different perspective. And I suppose what's fascinating about positing that we are not at the apex of the human phenomena right now, that human civilizations have risen and fallen before in the 300 million year history of our planet. Am I right? Is it 300 million years for Earth? You can Google that pretty simply, although Google trusted. Like that, it's possible that there have been other civilizations that have fallen, and many people say that Graham Hancock is not responsible in the way that he presents evidence, but he's an amateur archaeologist, isn't he? And I think he presents some wonderful theories. Look at this, like they've taken some pharaoh out of his sarcophagus and like given him his voice. I've given him his voice back. It's really, really funny because what I'm confused by it. I'm confused by it as a concept, and it's certainly very confusing as a noise. And look at all of the pageantry that went on then. We're talking about the royal wedding, not royal wedding, coronation later this week, and the amount of pageantry that went on, and it's that goes on now. Ridiculous pageantry. Well, in those days, they'd bury a pharaoh with their servants. They'd bury them with all sorts of artifacts and art and all that kind of stuff. Well, none of it's like gone in there, dug him up. Like it's just like oddly disrespectful. What do you reckon his voice was like, though? Let's get down his voice box and give him a new voice. Look at this bizarre piece of news.
Scientists were able to mimic Nessie Amun's voice by recreating his mouth and vocal cords with a 3D printer. It allowed them to produce a single sound.
Why? Let me rest. I didn't even like seeing these little tootsies down that hole, like these little bare feet, all like sort of all twizzled up by time. Like leave him down there, in there, isn't it? Don't you? Should you?
Yeah, I mean that's.
Oh! That's the sound you could make at all culture. There's a copper kicking a bin in France. Oh!
I mean, what great revelation are they taking from this? I don't understand. Did they not think that someone back then could have made that noise?
It seems that this pharaoh, at least, was unhappy about being dug out of his tomb and made to speak thousands of years later. We are being sort of reduced to idiocy through the meter of our culture. It's like dumbing down. That's what dumbing down feels like. Here's someone dressed as a cat. Here's a copper kicking a bin. Meanwhile, banks are collapsing. Wars are going on. Agitating China, encircling them with military bases. This experiment's not working properly. This is time for a radical reevaluation. Let us know. I mean, we're thinking about starting new communities. I believe Jared Leto tried a community, didn't he?
Wow.
I don't know what went on.
Look at him now.
This is one of our. If ever you want to know where technology could potentially take you, this is an experiment to recreate a voice box that we've shown you before, but we'll show you again because it's not disgusting, but it looks disgusting and it sounds weird. Merry Christmas. I mean, what's that achieving? Yeah, it is disturbing.
It looks a bit like with that mic in front of his mouth. He's like he's at the Met Gala and someone's gone, "What are you wearing today?" And he's just.
Will you be appearing as the Joker again? Where did you get those pearls? And did it take a long time to get those out of the bottom of the sea and then polish them and then turn them into a dress? Can we have 4 more years of Joe Biden? Can we have a press dinner where nobody mentions when celebrating journalism that Julian Assange is in prison without trial in the United Kingdom awaiting extradition? Because of the Espionage Act, because he revealed information that's definitely sensitive, but also, I would say, relevant to the American taxpayers who are paying for these wars. Remember, you are paying $1,000 every single year to the military-industrial complex. We're going to be bringing you a report about that later this week.
You kind of turn that into a kind of drone, I would suggest.
To satire,
Yes.
Very
good. Very good.
Oh, yeah, I can use my noise. Someone's pointed out that I've got this noise and I can use it whenever I want.
Oh, dear.
Like I don't have to do it myself anymore.
Yeah.
I can just go. Yeah, I can turn it into a. Go and ask me a satirical question about the news or something.
Do you think it's right that U.S. spy planes should fly close to China when there was all that furore about the spy balloon in America?
Yeah, satire, fighting satire that we're delivering here. We just mentioned that banks are failing all over the gaff. Here's another one. Look, another bank's failed. Let's have a look at that. Look, First Republic Bank collapsed, spurs fears for banking system and broader economy. That good news?
It's not great news, no. So it's 3 of the 4 largest bank failures in U.S. history have taken place over the last 2 months.
No way! Is this worse than the ones
sound good.
in 2008?
These are there's three of the four. So we've had 3 collapse in the last few weeks or few months.
Don't you worry about a thing.
BP are doing well, though.
They're doing very well.
British Petroleum, they're making profits. How's your electricity bill lately? Have you seen the electricity bills? They're not going up.
Exclusive.
Yeah. Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute. Let me look at last year's one. We're still on YouTube. Can't express myself. Yeah, Barry, John M. Fox. They're crazy high. That was soothing. Yeah, it's always nice to hear a little bit of Stevie Wonder, isn't it, guys? You can join us on Locals. Just press the button if you do. We told you a minute ago, US spy planes are over Taiwan. Taiwan want to have a war with China. I want to have a war with China.
They're in that Taiwan Strait, which is that bit of sea right between China and Taiwan.
Don't go in there.
Well, it's agitating them, isn't it?
It's going to annoy China. You know they don't like that. You know, like, what would that be like going in the Gulf of Mexico where BP like to spill their British petroleum, slosh that all about over a birdie beak?
Right.
US ready to help Philippines resupply ship in South China Sea. That's going to annoy them.
Yep.
That's going to annoy him, that. But let's see what the world's best and handsomest politician is saying. Trudeau's questioned even Trudeau didn't believe that freedom convoy was as bad as he was saying it was.
No, this is his staffers who didn't believe
it. Even his people that work for Trudeau?
So the people that work for him were like behind, I guess, closed doors, were kind of like, I'm not sure he should be doing this.
Do you, with Justin Trudeau, always think, is it Trudeau?
Yes, I do think that all the time.
Have you ever heard those sort of conspiracy theory type sounding things saying that he's Fidel Castro's lad?
Oh, yeah.
The conspiracy theory type things.
Well, we wouldn't be interested in that then, would we?
No, not actual conspiracy theory. I mean, also, look, always with a conspiracy theory, let me know if you agree with this, guys, in the chat. Does it make any bloody difference?
Right.
Like whatever you think about Cuba, socialism, Fidel Castro and all that, Fidel Castro was not like a player on the world stage able to get people in via the WEF. He faced pretty heavy sanctions from the US. Like whatever Cuba were doing over there, America were not into it. America were like, hell, this is all part of our globalist scheme, isn't it? Yeah. Like Fidel Castro, and well aware of the human rights issues over there in Cuba.
Judge Trudeau on what he actually does rather than
judge him on what he was, not who his dad is or his
might have been.
Yeah, just because he looks a little bit like him conveniently, really. Should we leave? Listen, guys, I think we're going to leave. If you're watching us on YouTube or Elon Musk's citadel of free speech, that is Twitter, we're going to leave you now because we're going to speak to Max Blumenthal, who's a fantastic journalist, absolutely fantastic. He founded Grey Zone, he founded it, and then he bloody well edits it.
Wow.
Look what I founded. Didn't found it, like find it. He founded it, like its foundation. Yep. Then he edits it.
Right.
Nice, isn't it?
That's what Have you ever thought you might start editing this?
No, mate. I find it too hard. We're going to be talking to him. We're off YouTube already, but we're going to talk to him about. I think people got the idea that it was going to be about 9/11, saying that the CIA, the two of the 9/11 hijackers, were CIA operatives. Recruits. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that 9/11 was a CIA scam, but put together all look at the various things you've seen, whether it's that Loose Change documentary that used to be on YouTube. Don't know if it still is. Tell us, guys, is it still on YouTube? Can you find it now? Tell us in the chat. Or if you're like a Michael Moore type person, remember Fahrenheit 9/11 when he was saying all the Saudi royals were getting flown out of there and the Bushes and the Saudi royal family.
Yep.
It used to be that you could get radical stuff from the left. And that's one of the reasons I like Max Blumenthal. I don't think he's a right-wing fascist. And I don't think he's an anti-Semite because I feel like Blumenthal might be a Jewish name. I've not asked before. All right, Max, are you a right-wing fascist anti-Semite? Let's get that out from the top.
Well, I've been called a self-hating Jew.
So they do.
And, I always wondered why the self-loving Jews who call me a self-hater hate so many people.
You probably shouldn't be on the phone then.
From, Palestinians, Muslims.
I apologize.
It's always a question I've had. And why they seem to favor sending U.S. taxpayer dollars to
Superman. I'm sorry. I'm just now reading it. Yeah, you are on the list of being
so
there today. I was
about
just
our
trying
history,
to catch up.
But,
all right, man. Have a good day.
It really depends on who you ask. What label you want to apply to me.
It's harder to get to anti-Semitism accusations for someone who is themselves Jewish, I would have thought, than people that are explicitly neo-Nazis, do the actual salute and everything, are down with the swastika. Like that, for me, seems like a more legit charge of anti-Semitism. I mean, I think we can conclusively say that the Nazis were anti-Semites. Mate, can we ask you a little bit about the CIA infiltration of the 9/11 hijackers and how this is distinct from the kind of conspiracy theories that have circled around that event for the last 20 years or however long it is since it happened?
Yeah, we can definitely talk about that. This was related to a report we ran, another masterpiece by Kit Clarenberg, who you've had on, and I've written about this case in my book, The Management of Savagery, which came out in 2019. When I wrote that book, which is about the history of the U.S. and its allies using jihadists as proxies, as assets, to undermine their geopolitical foes, from the Soviet Union to Syria, we didn't know as much as we know now. There had been an investigation called Operation Encore that the FBI, that involved the FBI agents who had been attempting to prevent or the 9/11 attacks, or were at least investigating Al-Qaeda. And that investigation ended in 2016. The results were completely redacted. And so it took until 2021 for a 21-page filing by a guy named Don Canestraro, who is the lead investigator for the Office of Military Commissions, which was overseeing the cases of 9/11 defendants, for us to really learn what had always been suspected, and which I got at in my book. I said I suspected that two of the hijackers on American Airlines Flight 77, which crashed into the Pentagon, had been recruited by the CIA and by a very secretive and I would say corrupt unit within the CIA that had been charged since 1996 with taking on Osama bin Laden and the Al-Qaeda network. It's called Alex Station. And, this is widely suspected that they had been possibly recruited by the CIA. And it was confirmed by FBI agents interviewed by Don Canestraro in this bombshell filing, which was, and of course, it was completely buried. Just like a few blogs had picked it up. And so Kit went ahead and put all of the details together for us, going back through Operation Encore and, taking us to the beginning of the cover-up of the 9/11 plot, the cover-up by the CIA.
That's not the same, of course, as saying that 9/11 was an inside job, and it certainly doesn't verify some of the ideas that have circulated, although, of course, it's not the only inconsistency or troubling piece of reporting that's taken place around that event. And, of course, it's well established that the CIA, as you said, participated in the establishment of Al-Qaeda, funded Al-Qaeda, so it's not implausible that there were recruits from Al-Qaeda operating in with the US. It's kind of likely. Does that open the door, though, to conjecture around the events of 9/11 more broadly? And sometimes, forgive me if this is like a kind of question an idiot would ask. It possibly is derived from the fact that to some degree I am one. But isn't it true that Building 7, that there was a building in New York that kind of went down and then they just sort of stopped talking about it? My memories are hazy of that event, and and it's difficult to deliberately and responsibly put together narrative points that are proven.
Building 7's weird. I mean, I'm a 9/11 conservative. I get a lot of heat from people who think it was an inside job. But Building 7's just weird. I mean, I remember on the day of 9/11, just hearing that Building 7 had gone down because of the impact to the other buildings, and it just sounded weird to me. The footage looks unusual. But I prefer to stick to the facts that I really know the most about. And this case is something that, I've followed for years. The case of Khalid al-Midhar and Nawaf al-Hazmi, who are the two kind of supposed muscle hijackers on American Flight 77. And it's very clear they were recruited by the CIA. So within the theories, or those who hold theories around 9/11, there's kind of three schools of thought. Did the CIA do this because they simply wanted to infiltrate Al-Qaeda and gain sources, and they protected these sources from the FBI? If the FBI had been alerted about the presence, and I'll tell you the whole story of al-Hazmi and al-Midhar in a second, but if they had not protected these sources from the FBI, the 9/11 plot would have been easily broken up. So was it just because they wanted to gain access to Al-Qaeda, or did they allow the 9/11 attacks to happen in order to produce what Paul Wolfowitz called in the weeks before 9/11 the catastrophic and catalyzing event that would allow the U.S. to wage a massive military intervention in the Middle East and carry out its and Israel's goals? And then there's the third school of thought, which is that the U.S. government or U.S. intelligence was directly involved in the plotting of the attack in order to carry out those geopolitical and imperial objectives. And
okay, well, that's our objective, is to get you working. I'm sorry. Right behind that
these new
sanitizer wipes there, yeah.
About motives.
I think it's generally, obviously, sensible to remain conservative, particularly when dealing with such sensitive matters. And even on our channel, where we fuse entertainment and conjecture, we are careful to ensure that we only use reliable information that's
it's up and down, up and down. It's usually
as a matter of fact. But if you apply this,
up near the 60s, they're saying,
where does it take you to even have the information that the CIA had operatives that were on flight 77? I know you named them. So what? Like it could have been prevented, I suppose. Is that what you're saying?
Could have been prevented, and Al Qaeda could have never been created. I mean, we can go back to
still getting a couple things ready here.
But in this case, you have. It's pretty fair to say at least one component of the Day of Planes operation that had been planned for years and years and years to strike strategic targets inside the United States.
All right, did you bring your ID and stuff?
Was a Saudi CIA intelligence operation gone in. To put it conservatively, gone wrong.
Oh no! Where?
Pilots on Dixie.
Oh,
managers at the other store.
Radical Al Qaeda ideologues who appear.
Well, I mean, we could probably get you ready within an hour or so, and you could probably start tomorrow if we get everything done. So.
In Malaysia, this is a January 5th meeting in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, with some of the top.
You're living up here now?
Of Al Qaeda, including a figure who is involved in the bombing of the USS Cole.
Right, no worries.
10 hours of Salvation Army and 3 or 20 hours that I haven't cutting it. I gotta have something at least 40 hours plus.
Well, this is 14 an hour. It's 40 hours guaranteed Monday through Thursday. When they start to get busier, you may even get Friday. So they're 10-hour shifts, so you'll get 40 hours. As long as you show up every day, you'll be there. You'll get your 40 hours. So, all right, let me scan this real quick, and I'll give it right back to you.
Okay, so you have an hardcore Al Qaeda operative with a multi-entry visa to the U.S., and not only that, he and his buddy Al-Hazmi were able to, from there, get on a flight to Los Angeles International Airport, walk off the flight with no interrogation or questioning, and then be picked up at the airport by someone named Omar al-Bayoumi, who is another Saudi citizen operating undercover as an employee of the Saudi aviation ministry, or as an aviation employee. So he could, I guess, get access to the airport. He then takes them to rent an apartment, gives them $1,500 a month for that apartment. These are two guys who speak not a word of English. They're picked up, according to their neighbors, in black limos every night and are meeting with strange men. They're going to flight lessons. And it later turns out that they were actually living in that apartment with an FBI informant. Bayoumi, of course, turns out to be a Saudi intelligence officer who is managing these two figures. And the FBI never learns that these two figures were in the country after attending the super summit of Al Qaeda on their way to carry out an attack that George W. Bush was warned about in Crawford, Texas, a month before it took place in a presidential daily briefing. Bin Laden determined to strike inside the U.S. This was at a time when the system was blinking red, according to former U.S. intelligence officials. And what happened was, the director of Alex Station, this corrupt and highly secretive CIA unit, which was charged with recruiting Al Qaeda officials, or recruiting Al Qaeda assets, Richard Blee, refused to tell the FBI's unit in charge of investigating Al-Qaeda
Morning.
that Al-Hazmi and
Here for an interview? Welcome.
The United States,
You can have a seat at the gray table there.
so
I'll
many
collect your
more
ID and stuff from you in just a moment.
cover-up that took
Yes, there
place
is. Around the corner to the right
FBI
there, and then
learning
through that
about them
little
as
women's
this
locker room there.
plot progressed. They weren't even told that they were on the flight manifest of American Airlines Flight 77 until days after the attack. The FBI wasn't even told that they had been at a meeting in Malaysia with a planner, a known planner of the attack on the USS Cole. So the CIA covered this up all the way to 9/11, and it's the same CIA that is responsible in so many ways for fueling the rise of Al-Qaeda.
Have you worked for us down in Toledo?
Keeping it alive to the present day.
And in fact, yes, you're quite right.
Yeah.
You can sort of chart the history of the CIA to the founding of the Mujahideen, and also you can say that there are still people in power that are participating presumably in comparable programs even now.
They say we got a job with my boy.
We're talking about
There they just put me on the waiting list.
institutions and bodies that are powerful,
You have
able to act without mandate in ways that seem to be
steel-toe shoes or boots?
the interests of the American
You do?
population,
Okay.
perhaps.
They will require that. And the uniform is pretty simple. It's those jeans are fine, and then it's just a plain white T-shirt.
Managed and enacted right up to present-day
Hmm?
conflicts and potential for coming conflicts involves these agencies. So sometimes, even when you're approaching it conservatively in the manner that you understandably are, when it's such a potential
Well, how long ago was this?
story, it's still difficult not to feel that the system of government and de-government in particular is concerning. Do you suppose that when we talk about a story like the Nord Stream pipeline, which is sort of increasingly appears to have been an operation conducted by the forces of this nature, do you imagine that with the burgeoning conflict between the United States and China, Taiwan could be subject to a kind of a Nord Stream-like event in their semiconductor industry?
Okay.
At that time, I was being diagnosed with a hernia.
Okay.
At the time, all this whole time it was cancer.
It's
Oh,
not
no.
just
Yeah, and so I
and
was
it's not
in
just
the
idle
hospital and
talk.
back and forth to
Give
the
me
hospital.
2
And
seconds and I'll pull up
that's
the
what, you know,
name
and then
of the former
Derek, he said,
general who's
you
actually
need to want
proposed
disability. I said, man, I can't do that.
a
I'm
U.S.
more
attack
working
on
on
Taiwan's
disability
semiconductor
Sure.
and
industry.
everything else. So, you know, they were
So they won't have any issue with you coming back, you don't think?
Former
Wow.
national security
They
advisor.
shouldn't.
No, I mean, if you left amicably, if you let them know you were leaving and stuff.
It's Robert O'Brien. He was a major figure in the Trump administration.
Oh, no, I'm not talking about the medical issues. I'm saying when you went to Fazoli's.
He
Oh, no.
When you left.
U.S. to bomb Taiwan
Oh,
semiconductor.
crammed together time period. Well, they're pretty. I mean, if you know if you showed enough effort to where they hired you in pretty quick, I don't think they should have an issue with you coming back as long as your health is in a better place. Then.
TSMC, Taiwan
Oh, I mean, if you feel okay, congratulations.
Collapse of the
That's
global
a lot of
economy
we-
in order to prevent the
Right.
factory and the technology from falling into
Do it
Chinese
with
hands.
work.
And this is not
Regular,
just
my
Mhm.
regular
Ryan
activities. I said, well,
calling for
okay.
this. We have other
And then I
U.S.
seen where
think
one
tanks.
person did this and that and all
Mhm.
kinds of other
Have,
stuff. I said,
you know,
okay,
the Center for
I wanted to go back to that.
other U.S. think tanks. Sorry, the U.S.
Well, that's where we're hiring for. So
actually
it's the telegraph facility.
suggestion. So it-
First
it's not
shift.
necessarily
First shift
calling
basically
for a
is what they're
flag
calling
attack
for
to
right
trigger
now.
a war, but it shows that
Okay.
the U.S. would
I mean, with your experience, they may bump you just a second though, because they do need operators. So if you do have some experience, well, just they'll start you on first, but let them know, hey, that you're interested in operating, and then they'll get you. It's $1 more an hour per second.
And that includes Ukraine. The U.S. is willing to see Ukraine's economy.
And right now, they're not bringing anybody because they don't have any operators to run the lines.
killed to extend the
So,
war.
Yeah, first shift
Russia.
is we're trying to.
Slaughterhouse in order to bleed Russia.
We should pull up that clip of the mainstream media where that current sitting US politician.
Okay. I mean, machines don't change much, so.
The semiconductors, that's like the resource wars of the 90s, isn't it? Where you sort of we have to have control of these semiconductors, and then he just plainly said on the TV, yeah,
Started
we
out
can't
with
lose
packaging
control of
from
them.
the
And then he went like 10
through,
seconds later, but actually, this is a war about democracy and freedom. Just said it.
How are you on the
Democracy and
computer?
freedom is what what keeps us motivated. I'm glad
I'll be able to help you with it.
because I was to fill time going to ask you.
I just want to help you get logged into the system, but I'm gonna walk you through it. Okay?
Did you enjoy?
Does that make sense?
I'm not that.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm connected to it, so I'll be able to actually help you by moving your mouse around and everything. So I'm gonna have you have a seat at this
There was a
computer.
Met Gala that took place.
I've been taking a break in Mexico right now, so I missed out on all that nihilistic dystopian hijinks. But
they were dressed up as cats and stuff.
The computer's kind of slow when you click.
Have you got
Give it a
the
second
have
to
you got
stop.
that?
Well, the internet's fast,
Have
but
you
these
got that out the back,
computers
or is it
are dinosaurs. So.
Michael McCall? If you can find that Michael
Wait a
McCall,
second.
ABC. Yeah, see if you can find that. So, nice one, Phil. How do you in short, do you think that the fact that there are semiconductor factories in Taiwan is a not insignificant consideration with this amidst this growing hostility?
is that a question for me?
Max, do you think that's a significant component? If there were no semiconductor factories in Taiwan, would this all be going down now?
Well, it is a major component, but it doesn't also explain U.S. aggression vis-a-vis Philippines toward China. And this is about surrounding and encircling China, creating kind of a pressure cooker effect on China's leadership, and forcing China to spend more and more money on its military and less on its social programs, and driving this program Xi Jinping has of building a middle class and redeveloping the country. It's about it is also
for some reason
competing with China, but I see by now the U.S.
Just type the numbers.
eager to move those
Just type the numbers. It'll type over
to a
that.
place they would consider safer, because as Thomas Friedman wrote, Taiwan is to be the U.S. porcupine against China. Taiwan is like, if you consider the concept of Israel as explained by former Secretary of State Alexander Haig, where Israel is an unsinkable aircraft carrier. It's a colonial implant in the middle of the Middle East that's a Spartan state, armed to the teeth with the most advanced weaponry, and the U.S. is going to use it to attack any country that takes an independent or adversarial position. And that's why Israel has invaded Lebanon, attacked Hezbollah, why it's constantly bombing Syria these days, and it says it's attacking Iranian targets. It just attacked deep in Syria and Homs. So that's also the role of Ukraine against Russia, a country that's controlled from the outside by the U.S. to antagonize Russia, to keep it in a constant state of war, to keep its leadership paranoid. And then Taiwan plays that role with China, and to a certain extent, South Korea, Japan, and Philippines are intended to play the same role. Which is why, by the way, the U.S. is so hostile to a peace arrangement between North and South Korea.
With so many
Oh, it says you're already in there. Okay. Well, it could have been. I mean, this goes back to 2000. Our files do. I mean, that's if you ever had anything to do with it. Even the one down in Toledo. So.
Assessing reality
Let
in
me
those
see.
blunt terms. You need ongoing deep.
Yeah, that's our corporate office down there.
You need a compliant
It's okay.
media. You don't
See if I can
need
find you.
people
We'll just reset it.
inquiring about the true nature of geopolitics and the kind of corporate and military relationships and the kind of colonial and resource necessities that underwrite much of the action that we're describing. It's and with the ability for this kind of counter narrative to be expressed, like either on Grey Zone or reported on our channel, you need censorship and surveillance. No wonder Julian Assange is in prison. No wonder Edward Snowden's in Russia. What do you think when you see something like that White House Correspondents' Dinner, like this sort of congratulatory circle jerk, where it's apparently the consensus between the media and the state is sort of reiterated, and the framing for what's possible to discuss is reasserted?
Yeah, I mean, what you see with the White House Press Correspondents' Dinner is the most hated group in America. Hated more than even Congress, and justifiably so. The regular American people hate the media because they know they're being lied to. And the media is there, the elite Beltway media, giving itself awards for publishing fake stories. Going back to the Steele dossier on Russiagate, they were celebrating themselves for publishing fake stories because the means justify the ends, and then the means was humiliating and destroying Donald Trump. In this case, it's about celebrating and circling the wagons around Joe Biden, doddering figure who, I mean, he put on a pretty good performance there. But
did you change your last name?
Is
Yeah,
simply a
Oh,
representative of the
that's why I couldn't find you.
and the kind of subculture that exists inside the Beltway that the rest of Americans are hostile to for justifiable reasons.
I
and
found
this is the
you.
same press that's trying to lie us into a war
Different last
with
name.
China over Taiwan.
Right, so it takes them now, right?
It's continuing to push this endless proxy.
It takes them now.
It's basically a cheerleader for that war, and that was the main vessel for duping the public into supporting war with Iraq. And what they're going to do if there is conflict with China is sell the war the same way they did with Iran. It's a war for freedom, and they'll cover up any false flag or any incident that drives us into that war. And you know who knows better than the press is actually the rank and file of the US military. They do not want to go to war with China because tens of thousands of enlisted soldiers will die in the name of US empire and the so-called great power competition. That's not just according to me. That's according to the Center for Strategic and International Studies, which is a neoconservative oriented, very anti-China think tank in Washington, which ran 24 war games pitting the US military against China following a hypothetical Chinese invasion of Taiwan in 2026. And they found that the US lost dozens of ships, hundreds of aircraft, and tens of thousands of service members. And Taiwan's economy was devastated, which means you can assume there will be hundreds of thousands of dead Taiwanese people, maybe millions, maybe a nuclear exchange, maybe nuclear weapons reach China and Guam, maybe they reach California. Hawaii has already run emergency operations where they were told that missiles were incoming. It was a lie, but the citizens there were terrorized into believing it in order to test the response systems. So whatever you think about China, I know there are many people watching this.
Right, go ahead and answer those two questions.
Because they saw what it did in response to COVID. This is about human life being devastated. And if that war ever takes place, it will produce an existential crisis inside the U.S. that will destroy whatever's left of the veneer of democracy. And the press, those people cheering Biden like sycophantic, loyal stenographers for the empire, they will be responsible, and they will be least likely to die because they'll be furthest away from the fight.
We'll look at the mainstream media now discussing the burgeoning conflict, and look at the transition between truth and propaganda that takes place even within the clip. This is Michael McCall. I can't remember if it's CNN or ABC, one of them. Have a look.
Like the case that would be made in the 60s, 70s, and 80s of why America was spending so much money and military resources in the Middle East. Oil was so important for the economy. Is this sort of the 21st century version of that?
You know, I personally, I think it's about democracy and freedom.
No, darlings, you sweet people. Show the earlier clip where he says it's for semiconductors and stuff. There's an earlier clip on there. There's one where he goes, yeah, we need semiconductors. We gotta have it. They're necessary.
It's your
find that one, Matt. You obviously dream big because I've seen the size.
I'm gonna show it to you. I'll write it down for you too.
Got a clip now? Okay, let's have a look. Sure, because otherwise I can wrap this nicely. Let's have a little look at the clip.
All right. Make sure you say yes to those questions.
Why Americans not only should care about what happens in Taiwan, but should be willing to spill American blood and treasure to defend Taiwan.
Nobody wants that. I think the deterrence is key here. We traveled to Japan, South Korea. We are in Guam. We're meeting with our allies, our partners here, if you will. They don't have a NATO in the Pacific, but they do have partners. We want to make sure that they are ready and supportive of the United States and Taiwan. The case for Taiwan, that's a very good question.
You go. Update the address and stuff and phone number.
50% of international trade goes through the international straits, but I think more importantly, you know, Chuck, is that the TSMC manufactures 90% of the advanced global supply of advanced semiconductor chips. If China invades and either owns or breaks this, we're in a world of hurt.
I'm gonna bring you some paperwork. If you do paperwork while he's on there, then we'll switch
All right,
you guys
Max,
out.
thanks very much for joining us for that. Really
Back on
appreciate your
these.
time. And is that
These are
what
just
is it
giving us
there?
permission if
Wow.
we need to run backgrounds, and
Dreamcatcher there.
the drug screen if everything's necessary. It's not
I don't have any dream catchers in my house. That would be cultural.
the rules. Just a quick copy of the job
I'm
description. I would give you a copy of that.
somewhere in an undisclosed location in an Airbnb in Mexico.
For the best that you don't disclose it, some of the ideas you come out with, conservative,
They don't have a system of
otherwise. Thanks, Max. It's great to speak
I'm about
to
to
you.
yell at Gina. I told her to start doing it.
Get more Max, but that's a great
Yeah.
savagery.
And that's just the start. The goal is to hire
Cheers, Max. Lovely speaking to you, mate. It's fantastic. Okay, shall we have a look at what are we going to look at now? Are we going to stay on the subject of war, on the general topic of war? Shall we do that?
Okay. Can we wear like sweaters even if it's with no hood?
This is
You can wear even one with a hood.
give that video, like put that video out.
Oh, just a shirt.
Yeah, so it doesn't get caught in the machine.
Okay, and you can only wear jeans?
Jeans or like canvas type work pants, no leggings or stripes.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
Interests, therefore, is Tucker Carlson speaking again.
And that's a Food and Drug Administration guideline, so.
Yeah.
Tucker Carlson has broken his silence, and the Pentagon and Department of Defense are cheering his departure. Is it good that the mainstream media has cleansed itself of an anti-war voice? Where will opposition to make objective from them?
All right. And this part here, Roger, we're going to skip.
Tucker Carlson's video response to the events.
It's not you don't have it, we just don't need it. So that's why
in particular on the
I'll fill it in. There you go. Now on this page, just check the boxes of the areas that you have some skills in, and then under the where it says availability, just what shifts are you available for.
Anti-war voices going to come from? Why did Fox News get rid of Tucker Carlson? Where will Tucker Carlson go to next? And where does radical opposition to the establishment agenda come from if anybody who speaks out against the agenda is one way or another cleansed from the system? Did you see the White House press dinner? What a cozy little jamboree with Joe Biden joking about the free press and how the press and the establishment have to work together.
Free press is a pillar, maybe the pillar of free society.
How can you have an establishment and press working together to keep ordinary people ignorant and bewildered and claim that it's anything like a free country with free comms? Voices that attack the establishment, that attack the deep state, that attack the corporatization of America and indeed the world are necessary at this time. That's why Julian Assange is in prison. That's why Edward Snowden's in Russia. And that's why Tucker Carlson's no longer on Fox News, even though I disagree with Tucker Carlson about a bunch of stuff. Let's have a look at his video.
One of the first things you realize when you step outside the noise for a few days is how many genuinely nice people there are in this country. Kind and decent people, people who really care about what's true, and a bunch of hilarious people also. A lot of those. It's got to be the majority of the population, even now. So that's heartening.
One of the things that I like about Tucker Carlson is he's a kind of frequency jam. The way he has those conversations with political figures where he's like, oh, okay, oh, all right. He's a difficult person to contend with, I imagine. And one of the things that surprises me is that people that oppose Tucker on cultural issues aren't willing to see that when it comes to things like the criticism of the war, their willingness to attack the establishment, the critiques of the military-industrial complex, the ongoing attacks of the deep state, that these are exactly the arguments of what was once known as the radical left just 20 years ago. Cast your mind back to the late 60s or the early 70s, the countercultural movement, the civil rights movement, Black Panthers, women's movement. You wouldn't find the radical left on the same side as like the Department of Defense and the CIA going, we've got to get rid of that guy. The attacks on radical anti-establishment voices often use the technique of saying, oh, you're far right now. But if we're far right for agreeing that the establishment needs to be took to task, then what have they become if they're on the same side as the Department of Defense or the Pentagon or the world's biggest corporations? What's happened to them?
The other thing you notice when you take a little time off is how unbelievably stupid most of the debates you see on television are. They're completely irrelevant. They mean nothing. In 5 years,
Impact
we won't even
employment.
remember
It's
that we
not gonna
have
help you.
them. Trust me, as someone who's participated.
So it seems to be that Tucker Carlson primarily is attacking the mainstream media and obviously
Sure.
in particular
Tomorrow be
his
okay?
former employers, Fox.
Okay, 1 p.m. tomorrow then?
Carlson
personally felt that he was getting disillusioned.
Well, I'm kind of doing an afternoon shift because I have to work, like 5 hours here at the Monroe office, and then I got to go cover one of our offices down in Ohio in the evening. So I literally open up at 1. That's why I'm literally it's as early as possible.
System that in the end you will be excluded. It makes you
okay. I mean, if later or a little bit later than that would be better. I mean, I could do that. I could go probably as late as 3:30.
Well, maybe they don't care what anyone says as long as it's generating views and revenue and money and power. Like having me on there, it's like they don't care if I'm anti-establishment.
Okay, all right. Well, thank you for letting me know. And if anything does pop up tomorrow, let me know. But as of right now, 1 o'clock tomorrow, good for you.
Voices like yours can
okay. What's your name again, sir?
And yet at the same time, and this is the amazing.
Hello.
Undeniably big topics.
Hello. What's the name again?
Our future get virtually no discussion.
Okay. All right, Kenneth. I will see you tomorrow.
Emerging science, demographic change, corporate power, natural resources.
I would say that those are very important subjects, perhaps the most important subject. Demographic change is, of course, the subject that people suggests that Tucker Carlson is talking about race and the balance between different races in America and stuff like that. Personally, I feel that alliances between cultural groups that are not operating in the top tiers of the establishment is an absolute priority, and I wouldn't participate in the promotion of any ideas that turn people of different cultures, colors, races, ideologies against one another. Me personally, that's not the way to go. But when it comes to the debate around war, when have you seen in the mainstream media a reasoned debate about trying to pursue a diplomatic solution?
Debates like that are not permitted in American media.
No,
political parties and their donors have reached consensus on what benefits them, and they actively collude to shut down any conversation about it. Suddenly, the United States looks very much like a one-party state.
That's exactly what Noam Chomsky is saying as well, that there is more censorship in your country, America, than there is in Russia. Noam Chomsky, about as far left as it's possible to go without it becoming, I don't know, it's not an angle anymore. You go back round to the right, which is what a lot of people are saying on Twitter. Let me know in the chat and the comments if you think that Tucker and Chomsky are right.
That's a depressing realization, but it's not permanent. Our current orthodoxies won't last. They're brain dead. Nobody actually believes them. Hardly anyone's life is improved by them.
If you look at that White House press conference dinner and you see Joe Biden demanding that American journalists be released from prison, while you know that Snowden is in exile in Russia, while you know that Julian Assange is rotting away in prison, essentially waiting to be exiled or executed, you know that what you're watching is theater, that Tucker Carlson is right. The orthodoxies are dead and brain dead, bereft of ideas. All they are is the advocates and managerial classes stewarding the agenda of the corporate elites. There's no original ideas.
I'm going to bring you the other part in just a moment.
Into a state of constant friction around cultural issues, just so that there is some theme.
Doing payroll at the same time.
Energy around it. New ideas.
Well, that always my ultimate goal is to always make sure you guys' pays right. I mean, mistakes happen, but I honestly, that is, to me, especially that first check, it's huge. I mean, well, not really. It's every week, but you're not paid the same. Your work week doesn't end until Sunday, so your first check is the first Friday after the end of your first work week. So if you start tomorrow, your first check will be next Friday. It's not really holding it back because the work week doesn't end until Sunday. And sometimes some of the places we place people, they do work on Saturday and Sundays. So.
Where can you still find American?
Fortunately, here they don't right now.
There aren't many places.
Actually, I mean, to start a new job,
as long as you can hear
I can't think of better hours. Monday through Thursday, 10-hour shifts. So you got your 40 hours still, and you got a 3-day weekend every weekend. So if there's something else you want to do or you want to get rested up, I mean, it's perfect. And getting off at 3:30 is still not bad either, because you can still actually get some things done. My shift, on the other hand, I come in at 1 and don't get off till 10:30 at night.
Goes directly to private military contractors.
And it was supposed to be temporary as of last November. Hey, it's a job.
And in significant numbers are using food stamps. These things are all true. Much easier to blame Tucker Carlson for bagging on the military rather than acknowledging that the military are always used as heroes when convenient, but are discarded whenever necessary. What people are suggesting is that the fact that 50% of military budgets end up up in the hands.
Okay, let me see what you're looking at.
$1,000 a year.
Okay, that's useless. You don't need to write that down yet. Done.
Check those figures. I'm afraid
Next.
through is not the best way to direct the finances of a country in crisis. The following is from the American Prospect, a left-leaning publication who are willing to
Okay, so now I have to log or
interesting perspective rather than saying, "Oh, I don't like it."
load some forms for you to fill out, and we'll log you back in one more time, and we'll be all set.
Frequently making larger-than-life figures of the political establishment defend arguments they otherwise treat as self-evident. Tucker's willingness to challenge and mock ruling elites went alongside an obsessively nativist message that alienated viewers who might otherwise have embraced his populist perspective. That's one of the aspects of Tucker Carlson that I would query as a person that believes that alliances between different cultural groups are necessary to displace establishment power. His popularity with a wide audience begs the question why other nightly news shows that attacked him didn't raise the same critiques without the nativism. And the answer to that is, of course, because they ultimately support the establishment and are unwilling to
now, you can access this from your phone or anything, okay? All right, I'll type it one more time for you.
May be important, but will not attack the
And then I have it. This is what's written down on that piece of paper for you there too.
The deep state. Tucker Carlson went there, so even if you don't like him, you have to acknowledge.
All right, so this is your employee portal. This you can access from your phone on the website that's written on the paper there for you. It forwards to this. It comes to this. And this basically what you're after today. You're going to use this for the pay history part. This is where you'll be able to pull up your old check stubs and stuff like that. Okay. E-documents is what we're going to work on today. So I click on that and I click on the green button. Then we just start going through these forms. Okay, most of them just require that you check a box on the top and the bottom, just the rules and stuff. I will be giving you a written copy of these as well. All right, start going through that. If you get stuck anywhere, please let me know.
Free market doctrines he'd previously espoused. Republican leaders will have to acknowledge that market capitalism is not a religion. Market capitalism is a tool, like a staple gun or a toaster. You'd have to be a fool to worship it, Tucker said in a typical segment. Our system was created by human beings for the benefit of human beings. We do not exist to serve markets, just the opposite. What even that critique reveals is that Tucker Carlson is aware that free market ideology is beyond just economic utility and is being used to
As soon as we get more operators,
agenda that benefits a particular strata of society and that is deleterious to the values of the majority of people, and that we need new principles and new values, or perhaps traditional old ones, to be at the core of our society. Without that, we have apathy and inertia in one portion of the culture and a very insidious, invisible ideology making sharp decisions throughout the body of the rest of the state. That passage of his monologue could have been lifted from a stump speech by Elizabeth Warren or Bernie Sanders, progressive senators whose views on economic policy Carlson often hosted segments focused on big tech with guests calling for the breakup of Silicon Valley giants and increased antitrust. He's been a frequent critic of trade policies that offshore jobs, a position that's found an unlikely ally in the Biden administration. His 2019 story on how hedge fund manager Paul Singer orchestrated the merger of Cabela and Base Pro Shops that destroyed a town in Nebraska had few equals in broadcast news as a critique of financialization's impact on neighborhoods and local business. Those are kind of stories and kind of moments.
All the answers are in here.
Many of us are sensitive to current orthodoxy leading to more centralization, a greater loss of jobs and community assets, a closure of small businesses, all things that started to get exacerbated during the pandemic. Let me know.
I mean, this means that you're doing what you need to have, but I want to get to work.
Interesting to see that someone speaks out those issues.
If you're good enough to show you're on time,
in the past year, Carlson
there's
also
little tells
Washington
that I go by.
establishment to express skepticism about the US sending tens of billions of dollars in weapons and security.
I don't even care how you're dressed.
He has questioned the
As long as when you report to work, you're dressed properly.
superpowers and that the United States is not at war with Russia. The television show censured the Biden administration after comments made by the president that indicate the goal of US involvement in Ukraine.
And that's what they're going to be looking for.
White House spokesman
When they're deciding who they're going to be hiring in.
repeatedly invited on independent journalists
Well, believe me, and one thing about this industry is that the only time I've ever had a slowdown here is when they ran out of product. They literally ran out of potato product
It's amazing to see those kind of
because
voices
of
on
shortage.
Fox News. You're unlikely to see those
Whatever
kind of
reason,
voices on Fox
I
News
didn't.
after the departure of Tucker. So who benefits from that? Did you see Tucker Carlson?
Yeah, I mean, anything to do with food, generally, that's a pretty secure position to be in.
Objectives have been met. Is there a limit to the amount of expenditure? And
Oh, okay.
is there a democratic process? Could we
Okay.
vote for how much aid to spend?
Roger, up there next to your middle, do you have a middle initial?
Used to be called right-wing talking points.
That's okay. It's okay. It didn't quite take it up here. And then we'll fix that.
Tucker Carlson is a
Okay, now let me fix this for you. For some reason on this form, in this blank, we have to put that. I don't know why. And then you don't have an apartment number, so we put it there. Then I'll put the ad in here for you.
Senate Minority Leader Mitch
Shift
McConnell's
2. I got it.
The most important thing going on in the world right now is
And then type in the phone number.
No, the most important thing going on in the world right now is the state.
That's 78. Oh, it's not you didn't hit the shift. Okay. There you go.
Lives you're supposed to care
And then the
about.
phone
The ones
number.
who can't buy food or gas. The people overdosing on fentanyl, he said. The fact that that voice is reaching a large audience, for me, is encouraging and shows that there are people that care about issues that are ultimately about the failing social fabric of America. If the mainstream media, as represented by CNN and MSNBC, are not willing to carry those messages, are not willing
good.
to go against
Date of birth
on the
up
issues
here.
just listed in that one
Month, and then you got to put the little slash between the month, the date, and the year. It's easier just to type it. Yeah.
That ain't the fault of the populist right.
Yeah,
It's the
yeah.
failure of the neoliberal left. Liberal media outlets like the Guardian.
All right, here. Tell you what. Let me do it for you because you're still trying to use that thing here. So it's 223, right?
Old school, you're not a patriot type stuff that during the Iraq conflict
Birthday?
would have been right and left, surely. A chorus of op-eds on Monday cheered his ouster and the move to rescue his very impressionable audience from dangerous rhetoric. Baked into that statement, of course, is the ongoing assumption that you are stupid, that you can't make decisions for yourself, that you need didactic pedagogy.
We just tab off of it. Boom.
Informed news, giving
All
you
right,
as balanced
and
opinion
then
as possible. And of course, Tucker
right
Carlson
there.
Pine,
Did not use a
of course, had
translator.
perspective, but
The bottom I do.
frequently, it was at odds with the establishment.
There you go.
People don't want to be spoken down to like children anymore. I believe people want to be given the information, given the chance to have a conversation, and potentially form new alliances that might be surprising. But cable news may struggle to find an entertainer equally skilled at skewering comfortable pieties on the left and right. So there you are. Why you have a White House press dinner that celebrates the cozy relationship between the state and the media, you are ousting simultaneously significant and somewhat radical voices from the mainstream. Don't be surprised that there's room in the information age for anti-establishment narratives, that there's room for radical voices, that there's essentially room for change. When Tucker Carlson says in that video, the old orthodoxies are dying, he's absolutely right. There's a clear choice that has to be made. Do you empower communities to live differently and democratically, or do you double down on centralization by creating conflict and conflagration? It's clear that the latter has been chosen, and it's clear that the former is what's required. Voices like Tucker Carlson's are facilitating the potential for a different type of government, even if there are cultural issues on which you hugely disagree. But that's just what I think. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'll see you in a second.
Now here's the fucking news.
Hello there, you awakening wonders. Today's show is brought to you by Manscaped, who are the best in men's below the waist and below the snout and within the ear grooming. Their products are precision-engineered tools like our analysis for your family jewels. Manscaped's performance package is the ultimate men's hygiene bundle. You get the lawnmower. This trimmer is the future of grooming, and some say the greatest ball trimmer ever. You get the Weed Whacker Crop Preserver Ball Deodorant, although if there is an odour, I mean, there just shouldn't be an odour on your balls. But if there is, this will rid you of it. The Crop Reviver Toner, performance boxer briefs, and a travel bag to hold your goodies. In this case, the goodies are the products, not your reproductive organs. Join over 7 million men worldwide, not literally, that would be unhygienic, you'd be ankle deep in pubic hair, who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer for you. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code BRAND at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use the code BRAND. Oh, it's really actually quite satisfying because you can hear it. Can you hear that? That's the sound of youth returning. Fire Girl 2020. What's wrong with hairy balls, though? She says.
Well, she's got a point.
But then, Rogue Nation, you like hairy balls in your mouth?
What's going on?
Well, just the chat. That's why it's worth joining the chat.
Oh, it's the chat, right.
These are not my views.
I always wonder.
They are meant to be hairy, says Lady Girl 3112. Then it's gone into something about race there. This is the chat. It depends how hairy. Fire Girl 2020. I mean, how hairy can a...
Okay. So
conspiracy theory or something.
Good. So do you claim yourself, just yourself, or do you have any dependents that you claim?
Taiwan or something.
Just yourself? Oh, you do have dependents? All right. Any of them under 18?
No.
Okay, so
so listen,
2 above.
right,
Okay, so
gonna,
it's 1,000 here.
in a minute, we're talking to
Tab.
Barry Weiss, one of
That's
the
it.
Twitter file journalists. She's brilliant.
And then with you and on the state one here,
Yeah, so if you're a local,
you don't need the
remember
license. You
locals,
don't.
right? So you're watching
You're
this
not
on Rumble
new.
now. Join locals.
So with including you, that's 3 for the
join
state
this
then
rude
total.
conversation, and also you can watch us live chat to Barry Weiss. We always do stuff like when Jordan Peterson came on, we
Good.
chatted to him live on there.
All
When
right,
Clark
you can have a
Farr
seat
came
at
on,
the
chatted to him
gray
live on
table
When
there.
Bandana Shiva come on,
Bring you
chatted
some
to her live
paperwork.
on there. Now Barry Weiss coming and chat to her live on there. So join locals, right? Click over there, and I think you've got to press that red button. Also, there's like weekly podcasts where I do guided meditations. They're really good, and you'll learn more about stuff we do. Look at my dog, isn't he lovely?
I'm bringing some paperwork to work
Into a
then.
good boy. Into a good boy. Yeah, if Frenchie Buff's new to locals. She's just saying she or he or him or her or they. I don't care. And they're getting right in there with a balls chat. The hairy balls chat. Nice. But
regular item maybe.
Regular item.
In the future.
How do you like them?
Right.
Like, I mean, if you can make King Charles's head out of chocolate and medals out of bounty bars and stuff, and that is something that's happened, and we'll be talking about that later in the week, then why can't people just chat about nutbags?
No, they can.
They can, can't they? Join us at Community Festival as well between the 14th and 17th of July. And tomorrow on our show, Stay Free, we've got Daniel Chandler, my mate, who's talking about the philosophy and politics of John Rawls. He's talking about equality, stuff like that. It's going to be a fantastic conversation. He's my friend, so I know it'll be brilliant. And we'll talk about... I'm going to sneeze. See that sneeze technique? That's my technique.
Really good.
It's my technique. It's the one I use. But now we're off. So come tomorrow to see us chatting to Daniel Chandler about his book, Free and Equal, What Would a Fair Society Look Like? And if you're on locals, you can stay with us and see us chat to Barry Weiss. And I'm going to be watching. My personality would have changed. I have respect for Barry because she's a brilliant journalist. So I'm not going to be here feeding dog treats to a German Shepherd and chatting to you lot about airy nutbags.
Good.
It's not the way that's not the way to win a culture war. That's not the way to get people to come together against establishment power, to throw off the shackles of a media that wants you dumb. Okay, hey, see you tomorrow, unless you're on locals when I see you in a few seconds. Just click the red button and join us there. Not more of the same. We wouldn't dream of insulting you in such a way.
No, we're gonna go down this way and then come back up.
After this, y'all leaving?
Yep, we gotta head back home. We got what, 2-hour drive? Yep. At least? Yeah, 2-hour drive. Round about there. Uh-oh. Wampa engine hand says we can't walk. Oh, the white man said we can walk.
I thought y'all was just interviewing people.
No, I'll interview people if they want to, but most people don't like my sense of we're out here to educate, ultimately. Ultimately, yeah, to educate people on what our rights are in this country as Americans. It's so simple as walking down the street with a camera in the Constitution of protected rights. Like, yet so many people don't understand we have this right.
Yeah, we just have fun doing it.
Yeah, I'd have never met you children had I not come out here and done this, right?
Hey, watch out, guys. I want to get to the window.
You guys get good grades in school?
Yeah.
Yeah? You're at great clips. I mean, great clips.
Great clits?
Yeah, that was the most I made with my dad. So far this month, about $400. but that's only in 5 days, 6 days, 500 bucks in 5 or 6 days. So, I mean, I managed to make, if I work hard enough, I can make $100 a day. But you can make $400 bucks. You start your YouTube channel. You gang? Do you gang? Put that on YouTube. Start your thing. Don't have enough time for that? You into sports? Play sports? No? Hey, I don't blame you. I was too at your age. I wouldn't play football. I was a skinny, scrawny little guy. I wasn't getting broke up on the field.
You're missing it, man.
What am I missing?
She was waving me away, and now she's holding the cloth up to cover up her customer.
Oh, really? Yeah, see what she's holding that cape up.
Yeah.
See the lady holding the black cape up? Trying.
Let's see how long she can hold the cape up.
I'm gonna go in there. Can we go in there?
I don't know. You can go in there if you want to. I'm not.
Straight out there right here?
Yeah, I'll be out
Them kids are gonna get themselves in trouble. They're just standing there staring at them.
They say their customers are like that.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, bummer.
I guess they should like put a wall up here so we can't see back there. I guess.
Put some blinds in or something.
Why put these big windows in to get somebody to look through them?
Right.
They work both ways, in and out, right? She's holding steadfast there.
Yeah, she's having her lunch break right now.
Oh.
Shut up. He eating the tomato. You got zoom on your camera? Come
Yep.
out there. Let me see it. You want it?
No.
Oh, okay. He said, excuse me, I thought you farted. You can leave. You can leave. You can leave.
Okay.
You can leave. Bye-bye.
I fell in love with you. Oh, girl. I'm in love.
Go back inside. Go back inside. Cut. Damn it. All right, cut. Ready? 3, 2, 1, action!
I fell in love with you.
Hey, you are ruthless. No, child, shut up. Shut up. You shut up. You don't know what the definition of harassment is. Go back in and sit down in your place and do your business. Get the hell out of my face.
From 15 feet away, you're in her face. You know how stupid you sound with that shit? You do, yeah.
Go back in there.
Very ignorant. Yeah, okay.
One
ignorant
second,
lady.
come grab that for me. I'm
Bye-bye.
gonna give you something else to work on too.
Jeez. Oh no, she's gonna call 911. Oh no, she's gonna go in the back room and call 911.
You did the number 29. It says you're allowed to store food or beverages in your locker. It's false. You didn't answer it. You might have missed it. No big deal. No biggie.
Hey, she's coming.
All right, let me see here.
Okay. Get some blinds. Solve the problem.
All right.
Yep.
Have you done anything online yet?
She's calling 911 too.
Another one.
Yep, another 911 caller. This one's gonna cam back us.
Yep. That's good. So all we have to do is the electronic paperwork then, so you're good. Save me time. Ooh, you got a birthday coming up.
Look at that cam back. Yeah. Give
Mine's
me
the
a cam
17th.
back. Hi. Hi. Hi, Mom. I'm waving.
The police work for us. They're all the public employees. We don't work for them. The only time they have authority over anybody is if you break the law. So remember that.
Craziness.
Well, I could say that, but I'd be lying. I don't have.
Yeah, this is just a mix plant. This is where they put the materials together that gets packaged over there on Telegram. Oh. And then the kitchen upstairs is they just do a quality checks on stuff. Every batch they make basically just to make sure it's the components that are supposed to be in there is what's in there. So.
Right. Okay.
But that's all part of getting. If you get hired in, those are positions that they move folks in. No. Folks ask that.
You know,
once in a while they look for somebody here, but it's. And of course, whenever that happens, it's like, give me something today. It's like, all right.
You can't tell us what to do in public. We're not going to stop.
You remember the user ID and password you created when you did it? If not, I can reset it. We'll let you try, and if you're not able to, we'll reset it.
If you have an issue, buy some
No,
damn
big deal.
blinds.
I can get you a good deal on blinds.
Get your fucking eyes.
Ow. Where'd Emo go?
I don't know where she went.
I think she's still hiding in the back room.
I've never wanted to have a strong earth magnet on me more in my life.
Wow. Wow, that's messed up. I think she went and hid in the bathroom.
She did. She went and hid in the bathroom.
All I can see is the username and that C. Lathan 91.
Wow, that's crazy.
Okay.
All right. Have a seat at that computer there.
Just
now, like I said, I was telling him, these computers are dinosaurs. So when you click, just give it a second to respond. Click on employee login. Yeah.
My brother from another mother.
Yeah, we might have
All
the
right.
same dad,
Right. Oh, Pet Shit Flies Plus.
Record.
Okay.
Right. Somebody must have farted.
All right, I'll reset it. Close your hand up.
Everybody's getting their stuff.
Yo.
Strong perfume.
Yeah, it is. Oh, look, cat grass right in front of you.
Cat grass. Oh, yeah, look at that. Because they already know who we are. They're probably telling them all the
Ain't nothing they can do. There goes the cops.
Mama, be on YouTube.
He might be. Who knows? We'll see. Won't be the first time.
Right. He might go around back to soothe the butt hurt. Yeah, he might be going around back over here.
The point is that you know.
Right.
The password, I'm going to change it to temporarily. It's going to be that.
Okay.
So just give me a second to do that, and then it'll have you reset it to what you want it to be.
Okay.
Oh, look at that.
There you go.
Yeah.
No, not while recording.
It's a post plant.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
He pushed me from behind. Thought he was going to get away with it. I had to be about to give him about 3-4 up the hook.
Old Pony Martini Pub. Is that what this is?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, Old Pony.
I had a monster in the world.
I just squirted a lady yesterday, or a couple days ago. Yeah.
And then opened the blade.
Hell no, we didn't go to jail. We didn't break the law. Self-defense is not breaking the law. See, look, this stuff right here, bud. Hey.
Impact employment, Norm speaking. How can I help you?
No, I don't
Yes.
Stay out on public all the time.
Okay. I just, I mean, generally, so is he officially quit or? Okay. All right. Well, well, I mean, it's. Let me see. Okay. Okay. Well, I mean, it's usually the DHS has a form that we fill out for that. Okay. I mean, even then, like Sunrise and stuff like that, they always have they have a form that we fill out to show the start and stop dates. I mean, I can do just like a list showing the start, for weeks that he worked and paid and stuff.
You want to plug the business? Want to plug the business?
Yeah, I mean, he can swing by. He's not trespassed from my office, so he can swing by and.
Damn it, hate being unprepared, right?
It may take a minute or something to pull it up and get it done for him, but I'd be glad to
take two.
All right.
At the old pony.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then the first box. Okay, let's go back up top here real quick. Oh, you did hear me say that. Okay, good. Oh, wait.
Probably in town.
Don't use okay, if you do use the drop down, go ahead and use it if you're going to. Or say I would just type it. But.
Tater salad. Tater salad.
Yeah.
Nope, that's my son's
and then
name.
Just tab off of it. Boom.
I'm Tater Salad. My son's Tater Tot.
My friends call me Spanky Pants.
Let's see what happens. You hit enter.
Yeah.
Okay.
You ain't never had tater salad before?
Oh,
we will.
Okay.
We definitely will.
All right, next. It's probably lost everything. Yeah, don't hit return. You got when you go to the bottom, you want to click on next. All right. Yeah, sorry about that.
I'm always ready for that.
She didn't even notice. If you're in public, absolutely. What's that? Yeah, I am. But actually, I'm recording, not filming. Because I want to.
Okay.
What? No, I'm not going to delete it. Have a nice day.
Bye, Karen. Bye, Karen.
Wow.
It stops in the middle of the road. What are you doing?
Go ahead.
Then she asked me to delete it. That was funny. Can you please delete that? No. She asked me to delete it. I'm like, no. In that parking lot somewhere. That was funny. Karen in the wild. Oh, there she is, the Karen in the wild. There's the Karen in the wild. Got me a wild Karen. Bye, Karen. Amazon. people are tripping right here. Oh, that food looks tasty. Oh, yeah, tacos. Yummy tacos.
You don't. That's below. Once you get below the signature area, it's actually just a worksheet. I don't even know why it's. Yeah, you're fine up here. You do have to pick one of these though. Just single. Oh, it's not taking it. Oh, because you went exempt, so it doesn't matter if you're going exempt. Exempt means you're not even you're saying that you're exempt from being taxed. So you may incur some. That's not right, is it? Unless you are. I mean, there are folks that do fall in that category, but it's usually very special circumstances that you are. I mean, if you want to just claim yourself, typically. Okay, you have some dependents. Okay, what? There we go. See, yeah, once we took away the exempt, it'll let me check it. All right, so if with the child, you go 2,000. I know the new federal form, they try and make it as confusing as possible. So yourself, the child, and one other adult dependent.
Yeah.
What you claim? You and your child? Okay, and that's exactly how we do it, just like that. The rest of this is just a worksheet. And it absolutely does not matter what you put in those. It doesn't change anything as far as tax wise. So I don't even know why it's attached to the form. This is new.
I did. No, I called her.
I don't even know. I mean, they even put like the grids on here too. It's like, man, it's like they're actually trying to make it confusing.
Like, what are
All
you
right,
doing?
now the state is the way it used to be. So you don't have to worry about the license number. We'll just say yes to new employee, and we'll just put today's date here. 0. And then use this number of exemptions. So you and the other ones, you would just
all right, man.
do
Have a
there.
good day.
That's how that goes.
Send them out. That's
and then you
hilarious.
sign it in box 9 and click finish.
All these people are waving too.
One Karen was mad.
And that's got to really make her mad.
That's really got a toaster going.
All right. Well, it's just pending review. That just means I have to do my portion of those forms. So you're good. As long as it doesn't say input, I'm going to log you out. All right. And you're finished with the paperwork. Man, let's do you. Let me see. The next thing. Oh, direct deposit. What did you have something you wanted to use, or did you?
Yes, I did fill it out in my the last paperwork I was here, right? I filled it. I remember filling it.
You might have done something online. Let me see.
Did I?
I don't think you've done anything with me. Let me see. Direct deposit. Let me pull you up here.
Maybe I didn't. I'm getting confused.
I can send you an email, and it's just a link.
Yeah, can you do that?
Yeah. I'll just send you the email. If you have any issues with it, just let me know.
Okay.
I'm going to send you 2 things.
Okay.
I want you to tell me whether the other thing works or not.
Okay.
The other thing is our insurance.
Oh, okay.
And it's not required.
Okay.
But
Yeah, I'll let you know as soon as I get home.
but because I've been telling people have been telling me that nothing happens when they click on the link. So and if that's the case, I need to get our IT guy to fix that.
Okay. Yeah, I'll definitely try and let you know that.
All right. So when do you think you'll be ready to get started?
I have a very important appointment tomorrow.
Okay.
So could we do Thursday?
Thursday. At least you'll have a day on this week.
Yeah.
Okay. Thursday is the 4th.
Oh my gosh, it's my birthday. Yeah.
You want to start on your birthday?
I want to get paid.
Okay. Well, all right. I mean, I work on my birthday, so actually this year I don't think I have to. Oh yeah.
Well, what does the pay period fall through?
Monday.
Actually?
Well, it starts on Monday
Okay.
and ends Sunday.
So even if and there's no weekend, so
Yeah, right now they're not doing Friday or Saturday, so.
Thursday, right? Oh gosh. Okay.
But then you'll have 3 days off after your birthday, and you'll be off at 3:30.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Let me do at least one day.
All right, so we'll get you one day, and I'll make sure I send that email to you. It's going to be the same. You'll click on it, and it'll ask for your username and password.
Okay.
And then you just punch in whatever you want to use.
Okay.
All right. Let me know when you do it. Just send me a text to the office number.
Okay.
Saying it's done, and I'll check it because
My son got my phone last night too, and I seen it. So there might be some weird text for my number. I've seen that before I got here. I was like 1 in the morning. I was like, what?
Actually, I think I did get. No, don't worry about it. Is it?
It says something about you should learn how to spell right. I said, oh my gosh, how embarrassing. That was my son.
I get those all the time, and generally it's a child account.
Yeah.
I don't react weird to that because
I was like, oh my gosh. I say that.
Well, nice meeting you.
Okay, you too.
Thursday. If you have any questions or anything, just shoot me a message.
It'll be the address and all that is in there because I've actually never been to Telegraph. I'm going to Telegraph. Right?
It's on the back of there.
Oh
yep.
yeah.
Yep. The underlying address on top there. It's right next to. Do you know where Paul's Collision Center is? Over by the Social Security office.
Oh, it's that.
The Enterprise. It's south.
Okay,
yep.
That's why.
Yep.
Okay.
You just south on Telegraph. If you get to Dunbar, you've gone too far. It'll be on the left. It'll be right next to Enterprise Paul's Collision Center. The address is out front. It just doesn't. It doesn't say Vectrum up.
Okay, but that's where I'll go.
Yep. Just go right in the front door. 5 a.m.
Okay.
They'll expect you because I'm gonna email them, let them know you're coming.
Okay.
Just go in the very front doors. Turn left. There's a locked door there. You'll hit the buzzer, or there'll be traffic. You'll be able to just come in and just let them know, hey, Norm sent me.
Okay.
All right.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Okay. Just make sure that's out.
I was gonna ask. It said no piercing, so take this out.
Yeah.
And what about this too?
If it's attached, it's one thing, but if it's anchored in, that's different. But
this one,
you'll be able to pull a hairnet over that.
Okay. Yeah, it's tiny.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I meant to ask you about.
Yeah. Anything that can fall out and end up in the product, they won't.
Okay.
They won't do.
All right. I'll
All
make
right.
sure of that then.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm. All right. Hello, guys. Let's get something for you guys to watch.
Huh?
Hey, Joko.
I appreciate
Talking to Zoom.
you asking. Thank you, Janelle.
Get a reaction out of me. Now they're happy. Now they're gonna post it and get some.
Listen, watch this. See this pause button? Thank you. I'm gonna keep videoing. Thank you. I don't get it. Yeah. Janelle, is it illegal for us to do this? Is that what we're saying? So it's illegal then. What information did I video? What information did I videotape? It's not of my business which information I videotaped? Well, you're not the sensitive information, so is the. But I'm not recording any of their stuff. I'm here to get. Right, but I'm not videotaping people's stuff. And even if I did, okay, but listen, you need to create privacy. It's not for me to create your privacy, you know. Fall in love with the guy that you're going to see at the beginning of this video. We met him on the way into the fire department. He had a big mouth. He was all fake tough guy and wanted to sling threats. That's coming out as a whole separate video. Keep an eye out for that. Watch this all the way through the intro. Yeah, so let's get out to a records request. I'll get some information. Get some information here. Hello. I can't hear you. Oh, of course I can't. Stop it. Let's not do that. It's against HIPAA. You know HIPAA is to the duty holder, right? Not to. Oh man, this is not a good start. Okay. No, I appreciate it. Thank you. Can you just tell us which construction company this guy works for?
Local 3, Bricklayer 103. I mean, local 3.
Which company though? Which company?
Bitches. You're hilarious.
That's your right. I get it. That's your right. I get it. People died here. Yeah, I know that. I'm working at a fire station, okay? And I get it, you guys can walk around here, but don't talk to me. No. You like this. I don't want to hear my face. You're watching. I get salary. You did. Listen, I'm not saying that. You came up to me and told me you're gonna knock me out. What did you say? Whatever. You hit me. Yeah, I hit the floor. I got you. Okay, listen. Find the work. Okay?
Right, Aiden.
I don't want to talk to you or you, right? Okay? My son comes up to me with a phone in my face. I don't want to do that shit. That's what I should. I try to walk. I walk away and I go back to work. Okay? You walk right behind me.
Huh? I appreciate you asking. Thank you, Janelle.
Get a reaction out of me. Now they're happy. Now they're gonna post it and get some.
Listen, watch this. See this pause button?
I asked very politely not to do it.
Thank you.
Yeah. So can you please not video?
I'm gonna keep videoing. Thank you.
Any questions? You all done?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, let me see. All right. You keep that. Oh, no, that. Thank you. Thought I collected that already. All right. See.
Janelle, is it illegal for us to do this? Is that what we're saying?
Not when I have sensitive information, I'm not allowed to do it.
So it's illegal then?
It's illegal to videotape sensitive information.
What information did I video? What information did I videotape? It's not of my business which information I videotaped?
Not to videotape me or record me.
Well, you're not the sensitive information, so is the. But I'm not recording any of their stuff.
When you're
I'm here to get.
videotaping through my window, you're videotaping.
Right, but I'm not.
Material data sheets are actually in the break
and even
room.
if I did, even if I did.
Wait.
Okay, but listen, there's.
And you tell I never
You
did
need
it.
to create
Or
files.
even while I
No
was
worries.
there. Everything else was always in the supervisor's office.
Yep. And that's one of the most commonly missed ones. So, if a pouch lands on the ground, it goes into an animal feed container. They set it off to like pig farms and stuff. So,
I ain't gonna say nothing.
no, that's fine.
That is like that
I
wine.
gotta go ask the cop, like, what's going on with the fire department?
For the air thing.
Yep.
I said, wow, really? They never do. They either let it sit on the desk or they'll leave it attached to the hole.
That's the answer. What they do
Yeah,
may be a different thing, but that's the
like I
answer.
seen when I was there. There was a shipment that came in with like fire.
Are you the chief?
I am Chief.
Nice to meet you.
No, I didn't.
My name's Good Sir.
Well, yeah, I mean, quite often expiration dates doesn't mean it's bad. It just means that's when they want it off the
So we're
shelf.
just probably gonna take off.
So,
Just next
all
time,
right.
I just like,
When do you want to get
I'm
started?
moving from the area.
Tomorrow?
love to tell you all about the place. Honest to God.
That's why we came.
Day
Was
shift
to look at
tomorrow.
a brand new building.
All right. If you have any questions, just shoot me a text, okay?
All right, sure, no
All
problem.
right. Nice
There
meeting
should be
you.
no text. Nice meeting you too. Have you talked to Santo lately?
Who?
Santo Martinez?
No. Yeah, I remember
If you gave me a little notice.
Well, you know what? We weren't even going to come in, so we were just coming to take a look at the outside of the building
I'm just
because it was
so
beautiful.
impressed with the place.
Indiana.
Oh, okay.
He's got a car now.
Oh, okay.
Showed me a picture. It's a nice looking car.
You just caught her.
Said he likes it down there.
Listen, I don't even normally
Cool.
fire departments because I think that you guys.
Yeah, I miss him. He was a good worker.
Hard job, but
Yeah, I'm surprised they kept him long. They did.
Yeah, his attendance wasn't all that great.
That's what it was, him being a good worker.
Yeah.
He was also going to be there for a while until he did go to Indiana.
Right.
Shot that move.
especially the old one across from the line.
I don't know. It was just.
It's just awesome. I love the show.
I'm surprised they kept him, but Eric kept telling him, all you gotta do is show up to work, you get hired in.
Right.
Every time he got ready to hire him in, he would just start blowing
Miss a few
things
days.
off again. He said, "You ain't helping me."
That's it's hard to do that. I mean, it's hard for them to convince their bosses to go ahead and make that move whenever the attendance isn't there. So as long as your attendance is there, usually it doesn't take
Because
too
it was
long.
confusing. She was first saying like it's a hit,
All right.
it's illegal, it's a hip violation. First,
All right. Well,
I'm
good
not
luck.
gonna take anyone's
We'll let them know you're
information. If it
coming.
shows up on my camera,
Yeah.
like we do a lot of heavy editing. I would remove it or redact it. But then it turns into that the real problem was that we weren't allowed to film her. Well, we're not here to make the fire department look bad.
No
She
worries.
just might need to get a little coaching. That's all. You know, I can't. It's not your fault. The construction guys making threats and stuff. That has nothing to do with you. But that behavior
Well,
with
there's
her.
a ton of different contractors on the scene.
Yeah.
Everybody's hustling to get us up and running. You know,
They started doing it 20 hours each day.
Yep. That's when you're eligible, but it's still up to them when they, if they want to do it after that. It's actually just 500 hours.
But everybody's working towards the same thing. Getting us up and
Oh,
running.
don't matter. I might have a weekly pay.
Yeah, that's you know what? That's the only reason I ever see anybody turn it down is because they want to get paid.
Yeah, let's take a quick look around and see the place. I think that'd be great to show people, what the building looks like.
It's just easier to budget. I get paid every week too, so I understand.
Yeah. All right.
So yeah,
Have a good one now.
you too.
Medical emergency.
Oh yeah,
That's having to think about that.
yeah. Let's do that.
It's just an area where we.
What did you want to use?
I got China.
Okay. Open the app. I'll show you how to send me the info.
At this end of the building, the other end of the building.
You can send. I'll have your phone just email it to me. I'll show you how to do it.
Okay, because I ain't
Yeah,
never did
yeah.
that, but
Go ahead and
I
open
always
it.
gave them the routing number.
Yeah. They just we in case I make a mistake, at least I'll have a hard copy of it. I'll send it to my email. There's actually it's built into the
I mean, the other
app.
guy's really nice too with the hazard truck. Like everyone's really nice.
The auditorium, so another thing that we haven't had, that we haven't had access to or whatever.
Right.
Now we can train our guys, we can bring the fire academy in, hold classes, it's a great thing. Can we turn these lights on? Yeah.
All right. Yep. And then from here, just want to make sure I'm not on the
Yeah, things have changed.
Still have your old address, but it's fine. Set up direct deposit.
Very nice. Kitchenette, yeah.
Send form to employer.
Yeah, so auditorium kind of goes with administrative.
Do you have Gmail on here?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll do it by Gmail.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm staring at the screen to make sure I'm
That's
recording
it?
everything. I'm getting good.
All right, I'm just gonna type in my email. There's the. Oh wow. Let's type my own name here.
I'll show you our gym.
Yeah, that'd be great. Thanks, bud.
Yeah.
I got fat fingers, man.
What's up? How you doing, man? You can lift one of these?
Just call up in the next There's
You
two.
think I can lift it with-
You just
I
gotta
can't
put in
lift
your
that with
code.
2 hands. No, I'm not going to. I like my shoulder in my socket.
So another huge part of our job, right, is staying
Right.
in shape.
Well, that's why you guys have more trophies at
Is that it?
softball tournaments than the cops do.
You said it.
No, it's true.
You said it, not me. But anyways, nice try. We'll go this way. I'll show you this back.
Right, got it.
Through the brain.
Okay, we're all set.
Thank you.
Yep. Good luck. Like I said, if you have anything you might have forgot to ask, just shoot me a text real quick, and I'll give you a call
He was
back.
only
Or text you
saying
back and
nice
let you know.
things, I think.
All right.
Thank you.
Yep. Have a good day.
I get not everyone's educated and up to
Wait
speed.
1 second. I gotta get keys.
Yeah, no worries, man. Thank
Stay
you.
right there, and I'll be right back.
If anyone tries to break in there, I'm gonna get them, Chief. That's
It's
how
like,
it should be. Yes.
And
No,
Cap,
actually, that was for a bachelor party.
released another
But-
video.
That was it. I don't know why there's sparkles on that pole. I don't. I like. Yeah.
So the other thing is, this is, like I say, for.
Mhm.
So when we go into administration, you gotta key your way in.
Gotcha.
I mean, into. Come on, there we go.
Oh,
Really?
come on, you're a fire chief. You guys are busting into it. There we go. It's a little flick of the wrist, I was gonna say. And this was from the bachelor party.
Yeah.
I'm just teasing. That's cool.
So that's,
Very cool.
All right, let's find that video.
one thing.
I got it. I'll pull it up just a second. I got to send an email real quick.
You know, our dispatch center was antiquated.
Right.
So this is state of the art. We can, if something happens at the PD and they have to move and work out of here, they can come here.
Oh,
We can go
very nice.
there. So there's you know, we can. So there's two redundant.
Okay.
I can just take a quick picture. Yeah. An
Hello.
action photo.
Not any of the screens because I see you got some addresses.
Oh yeah.
up there.
There could be some.
Yeah. Just,
But this is basically a brand new dispatch center. It's redundant, so like I said, you can come and work out of here. In case
Very
something
nice.
ever happened.
if you didn't take that, you go ahead now. Do we get to drive on the fire truck? Oh, come on.
Have to have you sign a waiver. We
Oh, right.
have everybody sign
Listen,
waivers.
I can't back a smart car into a supermarket without jingling it up. I would not be able to do one of those.
So basically, what happens here is guys will the shift that comes, the shift that's leaving, the shift that's coming, they'll download here, they'll talk about the piece of apparatus, they'll do their reports here. They do a ton of report writing, it's all paperless now. They call them tough books.
Unblockable. Let's see. Pulled off a good troll last night. I got this frauded Wrangler guy to issue a public apology video to SGV. He found out quick I'm unblockable.
So we'll always, and
Oh, that's awesome.
split security screen.
Oh, that's awesome. Is that video? Is his video still up? I'll pull that up too. But let's look at ANCAPs. Try and find ANCAPs.
See, firefighters know how to grill too for the radios.
So you do all the spares. They'll, you know, usually you do a 10-hour day and you switch.
Pause this. Pause that. And
I want an apple. I want an orange, actually. An orange. It's good. Actually. An orange. It's good. God, it's my neighborhood. I'll take whatever I want. Yeah, I'm all right. You guys all right? We're all right. Everyone's all right.
Everyone's all right.
Yeah, everybody's all
Hey,
right.
put your phone down. Put your hands on your
Why?
back.
Well, for
Put
what?
your hands
Why?
behind your
Why am I
back.
getting
You're under
arrested
arrest.
for? What?
You stole an orange from the store. They're pressing charges.
Get the f out of here. The orange fell on the floor. You're arresting me for an orange?
Yes, sir. They're pressing charges
Are
on
you
you.
stupid?
Right.
For a f***ing orange?
Yes.
You guys are a f***ing joke. You know that? See what I'm saying? You guys like to violate my rights. Every single time, bro. Every single time. This is a joke.
Into the system, everyone's a victim. Doesn't matter if you're black or white, it hates you all.
I'm gonna get up to this train station and I'm gonna end alive. It's like 3 blocks away. Normally I catch them hanging out in the train station. There's a train station coming up. Oh, I want a fucking apple. Cheers to you. Thank you for the apple. Cheers to you. Thank you for the apple. Want an apple?
Yeah, it's Tom McDonald.
Wipe it down too.
It's just short enough too to where Tom doesn't copyright him.
Getting hungry out here. 3 hours on this live.
I did a 1 minute one.
Not too shabby.
I'm gonna use it as a trailer, and it's too long. I get copyrighted if I use it.
All right, there's a train station 2 blocks on my left. There's no more action, then I'll just let it go. We'll just end it. Any more fruit? Any more fruit?
Oh yeah, give him props for putting this together. Somebody told me about the Apple one. He put the videos together.
Over here.
I wonder if he's got his scooter back yet.
Robert Ruse, man. I would love to barbecue and drinks. Hell yeah. We all chill. We have a union. Absolutely. That would be fun. That would be fun as hell. Don't they say an apple a day keeps the doctor away? Pretty good apple.
Has he gone live at all or anything yet? I mean, he has all these phones. Yeah, okay. I unsubbed when he came out, still blaming everybody else. So I don't get any notifications. Look.
Here we go. We're a block and a half away.
Two weeks ago.
Fuck that apple. Oh, fuck out of here.
So did he take down the one where he stole the apple too?
But wait, there's more.
If not, they could tow your car. Yes, they literally could pull you out and tow you. Hey, how are you? Nice? Is it nice up there? I want to get a little bit of a... Is it okay up there? Can I come? How young? How young? Are they young? Are they old? How do they look? Show me. Show me what they look like first. Do they look like this? Right here? Like this girl? No, I doubt it. I doubt it. I doubt it. See you later, Grandma. Bye-bye. Want some light? Hey, stay away from me. Don't tell me to stay away. My country. You ain't gonna tell me to stay away. Stay away. Oh no. Tell me to stay away. Come on, stop it. You think that sweetheart looks like that? Come on, stop it. You're not gonna look like that when you leave.
587 comments, only 161 likes on that
Where's
community
my
post.
money? I want my money back. I don't look like this. Hello. How you doing? How you doing? What's the matter? What's the matter, Pop Tart? You got upset? What? Uh-oh. You gonna get the gang after me? Come on. Yeah, okay. Oh, you got young girl coming. Oh. Oh, you got young girl coming. Oh. What's going on up there? Anything good? Come on, stop it now. I'm not allowed to record in public. We are exercising our First Amendment rights on public sidewalk. Call the NYPD. They're right down the block. They're literally right down the block. They're right here. I'm trying to ask, how much? How much for sucky sucky? Bucky bucky? Dollar dollar? I'm trying to find out your prices. Maybe I want a freaking back massage. My body hurts. I want you to go into property that is owned or occupied by somebody else. No, I know that. That law, I already know that. That shit is all bullshit, bro. I'm just trying to bait them. I want to bait the guy. Like, yeah, oh yeah, just catching, yeah, sure. Huh?
All right, let's
No
look at
happy
Social
ending.
Blade.
No happy ending for me. Okay, let's go to the next one. It's up the block. It's right here. And they go inside and they say, "Oh, me love you long time. Yes, $50, $50, $50. Oh yes, I want to come inside and get a massage. How much? Oh, Bruce body. Oh yes. Hey, what's up, buddy? How you doing? You work with the NYPD? No. You think they're gonna look like this girl? Yeah. Okay.
His
They're not gonna look like
subscribers are
her.
still going up.
Pretty girl. So
I'm not
God bless
buying it.
her. But nah, they don't look like her. What are they doing? Like 4 people working on this guy's foot. Oh man, push, baby, push. Are you giving birth? This guy's giving birth out of his feet.
So, the end of March, he was at 1,280 subscribers.
Count 1, 2.
To be just under 40,000 now.
I remember when.
Or at just under 50,000 now.
Birth. Push, breathe. Breathe. Wow, this guy either must have real smelly feet or something. What are you working on, his feet? What the fuck is going on in there? You guys are some weirdos.
What's up?
Oh boy.
You can go live.
I don't make this shit up, guys.
Yeah, but before that,
You can't make this shit up in
I mean, it's a steady curve. That's
oh man, I want 4 hands on my feet. You lucky little bastard, hey?
Look. Of course, the views are dropping through, but yeah. Yeah, the still going up part is probably that, but I'm pretty sure that these numbers.
Yo, I'm not capping. Like, seriously, he's got 4 hands on his feet and he's pointing to them. Like, yo, you You fucking massage that part. Yo, can I get one? Can I be next? I want that. What is that?
Best New York accent. How you doing, Doc?
Oh my God, I cannot believe I'm seeing this right now. What is going on? What do I fall into every time in New York City? Like, this is crazy. No, that's not the phone number, guys. So don't worry about it. That's not the phone number. No, that's not the number to the place. So it's like, man, this guy, he must be like the Don of.
All right, we'll be in there, man. We'll come hang out with you.
He's the Don. He's the fucking Don of Chinatown.
I couldn't do a desktop stream yesterday because I forgot my earbuds and it echoes whatever I'm watching on the laptop.
Holy shit, me love you a long time. 4 hands on those fucking feet, huh? Where those feet went? Yeah, we rub over here. We rub over there.
That's
I'll give you some.
Even having viral videos, it's
you're rubbing in the wrong spot, sweetheart.
Folks don't grow like that. Long Island Audit did not grow like that.
Beat it. Beat it.
Freeman did not grow like that.
I'm joking, guys. I'm only kidding. I just like to. I like to try to narrate things and just be a jokester, you know. So I don't mean no harm. Just to let you know. Oh, she's looking at me. How you doing, baby? You looking at me? What's up?
You're not in this Callahan's
Fuck. Why are you looking at me for?
Trucking with Callahan channel?
I walk this way. She looks at me. Look. You ever notice the signs? They always do that shit. You ready? Oh, you must have shot it.
Yeah.
They're gonna come out. They're gonna give me some Muay Thai. They're gonna Muay Thai my legs.
Oh, there it is. Yeah. You beat me to it, sir.
I got dips. I got shotgun. Me next. Me go next. How much? Wait, how much?
Should change the URL too. Should let you.
Let's see the prices here. So we got lose weight. $50 for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
You're gonna make me lose weight in fucking 30 minutes for $50? Come on, stop capping. Body work. What kind of body work we got going?
No negativity, no bullshit. It's just
foot rub.
Basically, we're enjoying the scenery that the Midwest shows us, and
he's like, yo,
keeping him awake for his drives.
Come out here and fucking
he's pretty active. He's very interactive with the chat.
Oh yeah,
he's got the chat placed in an area where he doesn't interfere with his operation. Like I do. I do the same thing.
He must have hit the lottery scratch off. Or he collected a lot of bottles. Something. Either he collected bottles, he hit the scratch off. Oh yeah, go higher. Come on.
Dick.
What is wrong with me? What am I doing? Look at this. I can't make this up. We love you a long time. And mind you, we're right across the street from the 5th NYPD. So, you know they come across the street when their shift is over. They walk, they come inside, and they're already at the door like, oh, we love you a long time, officer. Officer Joe, Officer Frank, yeah, Officer this, that, yeah. Officer Spider, come on inside, dance. Can I come next? How much? This guy's hiding in shame. He must be ashamed. Oh, he's watching me. Yo, bro, if you're watching me on YouTube, dude, yo, come outside, yo, hit me up. I want to take your chair too. I want to sit down. You guys hear the music? Is.
You still in California though, aren't you?
I don't make this up, guys. I want to know who she is. You don't work here. You're a liar. You guys are lying. Who's this girl? She's pretty. I like her. She's all right. I like her. What's up, bro? You good? Okay, we got Jordan up in the house. Uh-oh. We ready to do something cool. Hey, don't come near me. Oh. Whew. Stinks over here. Damn. Sorry, I farted a little bit. Sorry. I'm gonna get jumped. I'm gonna get jumped by the Chinese crew. Chinese gang.
All right, they're still dealing with it.
They're gonna beat the shit out of me. Oh shit, yeah, right. This is where the NYPD goes, though. I'm wondering if he's a cop, though. Foot rub, 40 an hour per person. So he's got two, so that's $80 an hour right there. This guy's gangster right here. Big gangster, bro.
Okay, I'm back, guys. Sorry. That's really cool. I usually stream a whole shift, about 12 hours, so really cool. Sign us right now. The reference, that's Headed East. Isn't that a band? Or Head East?
Oh,
Flies a pancake. That's a song.
What the fuck? What's in the bag, homie? What's in the bag, homie? That was a little suspicious. That was a little weird. Okay. That was a little strange.
Yeah, NCAP mods for Midwest. Give him more material. Him and
where are you?
last responders are having a blast with this stuff.
I want next. Look, he's still going. This is. He got fucking. Oh, the other one gave up. Her hands gave up. She said, "Oh, me don't love you no more. Long time. Me don't love you long time, sweetheart." I think she thought it was funny too. Me don't love you long time. No, he had two of them in there before.
Let me search it. Let's copy what you have here. Head East. Oh, it's the album. Yeah, okay. Head East. All from Illinois. $75. Yeah. This must be a whole album or a concert. We'll drop that in there. First studio album, it says. Oh, it's over.
Total radios like $8 grand.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. The short of expense. Well, listen, when you get a building that's not that's the thing. Like, you can't cut corners when there's emergencies.
Well,
you know, like
that's
someone responds to a fire, they need to have the best equipment possible.
Portable radio right there.
$8,000, huh?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Oh yeah, we know this.
Set a rollover on the highway, so they're all out. That piece just came back from it.
It's brand new. Jesus. See, no, at least you guys go to fix it yourself. So the PD will have someone come out and do it.
Well, we have a state-of-the-art mechanic bay out back, like I'll show you. But so, anyways, we run an engine here. That has
No.
2 ambulances.
Really? Dust storm in Indiana?
The captain's car right there. That's the command car.
Okay.
These are heated floors, so it's important in the winter,
when the snow melt, yeah.
all your heat, but this is a
70 vehicles crashed.
more
Oh wow.
way of maintaining the heat. Can I show you?
Oh, of course, CNN. Oh well. Here.
So like I was saying,
Close
this is
it.
part of firefighters training. So this is the bailout window here.
Wow.
Dangerous dust storm has unfortunately turned deadly in central Illinois. The state police say that multiple people are dead. At least 30 others have been taken to the hospital after low visibility led to multiple pileups on the interstate. Police say anywhere between 60 and 80 cars and tractor trailers were involved in those wrecks. Let's bring in CNN meteorologist Chad Myers. Chad, what caused the storm?
Big low pressure center and a cold front that came through over the weekend brought very cold air. We know that. But also on the map behind me, everywhere that you see red, that's a 40 mile per hour or greater wind gust coming right now, coming in from the west right across a north-south highway. So here's the wind coming in, and I-55 is like that. And the wind blew right across the interstate and made that terrible, terrible dust storm. Here is Springfield, Illinois, right through here. Here's I-55. Now I'm going to zoom in to show you what else, not just the wind, made this event. Farm fields. All of these plows going through the farm fields this time of year, mixing dirt. It's not just one packed layer that had snow on it 6 weeks ago. All of a sudden, you have all of the farmers with their discs and their harrows and their plows making this dust loose. And when the wind blew today, 45 miles per hour, the dust from that equipment made this dust storm.
The president's son appearing in an Arkansas courtroom today.
Yeah, we don't care about that. Tankers exploded. Yeah, I imagine. Could imagine. What was this? Dispatcher.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, you just moved to the Peoria area, right?
We practice on this. We also got
My grandfather grew up in Marion, Illinois.
and so we finally have a decon center. So when you come back from the call, you're hot, contaminated. So they call it decon. So any kind of like shops or used needles, go there.
Okay.
Gross decon here. This washes your Scott packs. You know,
Okay.
the bottles.
Yep.
This will do a few packs at a time. Sanitizer. So
Now, the old one didn't have that.
Well,
The old one.
no. And what happens is you put the pack back in the truck. Now it's off gas and chemicals. So now this will clean. So go back in the truck. Your turnout gear, the stuff, the bunker gear that we wear.
Yeah.
It's what these. Dried and these been dried. It's a little coat hangers.
Ain't one of those from my house.
Yeah, boots go there.
Very cool.
Then I'm wearing Class B's. They go in that washer dry up.
Okay.
And then because a lot of the chemicals get up on your armpits.
Just things you never think of.
No. So you grab a towel. You shower.
Yeah, that's another federal prison, isn't it? That's like a high security one, isn't it?
Yeah.
That kills bacteria. So after you shower,
There's one in Marion, Ohio, too.
It's working weird. Like I shut these off. Yeah, see.
Oh yeah.
You know, but it's bad for your eyes. That's why it's not supposed to be on now. So anyways,
Medium security, U.S. Penitentiary.
You shower. Then you got
10 housing units.
Flip-flops, your Crocs. You put your Crocs on.
Okay.
Double fenced.
You leave this. You come in hot. You leave.
Let me take a map look at it.
Stiff, right?
Especially the way they built it too.
Yeah.
So there's not. I mean, you've got a couple of challenges, but there's no cross contamination.
USP, yeah.
Issue in one door or the other.
See how they react to that. See maps. Let's take a look.
This is an airlock, and then this is what you turn off here.
USP Marion. Okay.
See that little musty smell of fire, you know?
Yeah.
So this is what happens. The whole idea is.
Ooh, there's a prison road. Okay, there's a highway there.
Yeah. Off gas.
Right.
And it's good.
I don't know where they're gonna let you go though.
Clean air in and off gas and all the chemicals.
How many guys and gals you have?
We have 80. Jesus. And half of them are on duty here. The other half are at outside stations.
Okay.
So half of them benefit from this beautiful facility.
And then the other half are jealous.
The other half are jealous, but there's a promise.
There's a problem.
We're going to rehab them, those stations next. A little at a time.
I live on Cape Cod,
Man, they might push you all the way out to a grassy road there.
So I went to Mass Maritime Academy down on the
Here.
Phenomenal.
I'm going to pause that again. Show you the map here. This isn't the survey. This is just Google Maps, but. See, it won't let you get a street view from here. These look like all. It's Prison Road. Bet you these are all like people that work there or stuff like that. Prison Road. Okay, that splits there. Oh. It doesn't show any gate there. I wonder if there's any signage. Big circle there, Prison Road. There's the parking lot. Probably one of these two is the visitors parking lot, probably. Prison Road, Justice Drive. Bet you these are all. And then this looks like. Okay. This is probably where you're going to have to go. It's probably as close as they're going to let you get. It's like a building there, almost a guard shack. Okay. We'll turn around there with blockers that you can't, won't let you turn around. It's like a cell tower. Prison Road, Prison Road. Okay. These look like farms. So that might be public road. Yeah, you'll have to check the survey on it, but I'm wondering if they push you all the way out to here. That's just a church. These are just houses. Okay, so this is public road. I definitely have to check the survey on that one.
Phenomenal school.
You know what? Up here,
Yeah, definitely be interesting.
Most of East and North are industrial.
Right.
Isn't that where when Capone was taken when they closed down Alcatraz?
It's a challenge.
And before Capone got out, didn't he get transferred there?
Yep.
93 and 95. Yep. So, like I say, we were hopping. So I'll show you the other bay.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, no worries. carbon monoxide.
Media page of it.
Doors open and fresh air comes in. It's just stuff that
Oh no, it was built in 1963.
Accessory bay.
High profile escapes.
Keep a bucket truck here. This truck changes all the traffic lights in the city. Yeah.
2 correction officers have been killed.
Right. And it was fire alarm, which was, the red boxes in the buildings that trip through when reaction to fire. Well, this guy maintains all the wiring for it, and they also
Downgraded to medium security. That's probably when Colorado opened up.
another engine, and again, all our guys
Inmates, here we go.
because they're paving the park.
Right.
Here. Al Qaeda operatives. Embassy bombing in Nairobi. Al Qaeda, Palestinian leader. Sole surviving hijacker, Egypt Air Flight 648. More Al Qaeda. Attacking an army base. Domestic terrorists. It's like most of these guys are on diesel therapy because they've been bumped to different places. That's what they do in the feds. John Gotti was there. Died there while serving a life sentence. Victor Bout was there before they exchanged her, the Minister of Death, before they exchanged him for Brittany Griner. Pete Rose was there. He was at the camp there, I guess.
Normally, I would, to be honest with you, I would normally jump right on something like that. But I felt like maybe we'd give her a little bit of a break. I even said to her, I was like, come on, Janelle, let's not even do this. Let's skip right past this part.
Cool. Yeah, Pete Rose did his 5 months in the camp.
How much that generator cost?
Yeah, domestic terrorists, basically freedom lovers.
But the whole idea is that'll give us a week.
If everything goes down.
If everything goes down. So, I'll show you. So we're all jammed here because we are very, very fortunate. Right now, if you try to buy a piece of apparatus, 28 months, 40 months to get a new piece.
For waitlist, yeah.
For waitlist. So we're lucky that we have 2 very skilled
Oh.
to keep our stuff running. They're out there now trying to fix that. And that isn't the thing that I thought would break down. How you doing? You know what I mean? So that's the thing right there that keeps us self-sufficient. That tower. That has line of sight to Zion Hill, which is the tallest thing in Woburn.
Yeah.
So now we're self-sufficient. You know, if something happens to the TV, they can come and help them, and vice versa. What goes to your life? So we keep all our bulk stuff.
Sorry, Lompoc, Susanville, both Kelly, Carson City. You know, sorry about that rumble.
That's the on off service truck or change the tire, whatever.
I don't know.
Having a little issue with the floor. It's peeling up on us.
Oh, there's a new floor. It's not a peel.
Brand
Should happen.
I don't know. Taco Tuesday work antics.
We also have the bodies of water in Woburn.
Yeah.
So I'm waiting for a part for this one.
We're just
This is an older
checking
one,
out
huh?
other streams and stuff. TV
Yeah.
Ghosted 87.
Yeah.
And any other body
I'm chatting with. I didn't even know you were in here, but sorry. I was chatting with folks in my
fits on that truck that's broke down.
YouTube chat.
And this motor lives on this, and this gets plugged into the cabinet. So they call this a boat in a box.
That's very cool.
Yeah. See, it's got a jet motor on it, no front. See that?
Yeah, I've never had.
Oh Jesus!
I do
So
fire
here's the thing, right? So this, right? If you were to hit a rock and this got deflated, it's all different bags of air, so you wouldn't sit.
What the?
Yeah. So you could throw 4 or 5 people, and we've had people out there in canoes that stood up and flipped it, or their sailboat. We've been out in the middle of Hong Kong a bunch of times. But this is for any other body of water, woman that normally lives down in Hong Kong. But we're
I got to tell you, I've done quite a few fire stations, and you are definitely thorough masterpiece.
Yeah, my name is Josh, man.
Josh, thanks, Josh.
Pleasure to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Those are 6 robotic lifts. They talk to themselves. They come over, and you need 4 to pick up that, but you'd need 6 to pick up the aerial.
Right.
And they talk to each other. And they technology is unbelievable. Yeah, and I'm telling you.
You're in your glory right now.
I am.
With all this, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, like I
The
said,
boy and
I'm
his
just-
toys. He's got like the
I'm just
best of everything.
I'm so happy for the guys that are going to enjoy the quality of living and what we can do for them. Honestly, God, it sounds funny, but we have the facility.
No, it's tough. You know that guys do such long shifts, and normally they sleep here, and you know they bring stuff from home because they're spending time away from family. They eat here, and
This is it. We're all on a 24.
it sucks when they don't get enough resources. You know what I mean? Like you're doing all that, and then the best that you get is you go outside and grill a couple burgers. It doesn't seem like enough. So I'm glad you guys got something that's state of the art.
Yeah.
Woburn's the smallest city known to man in the fact that everyone that grew up here knows each other. Everybody. Everybody. You know, so it's good to see. Woburn deserves it.
Yeah, no, and like I say, I'm not stopping. I want to get the other stations rehab. Upgraded rehab, just so it's, safe.
Crazy how, you guys save lives and blah, 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 and yet, don't have the facilities that you need. And I know you probably can't comment on that.
No, I think that, I mean, I just know, things, so we're all moving in the right direction. We're moving the needle. It sometimes takes a little longer.
Of course.
I want to check fast.
Absolutely. I think the city would as well.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much.
No, my pleasure.
This was awesome.
My pleasure.
You're
And
great.
Dennis, thank you, Dennis.
And
my pleasure. Like I say, anytime you've got somebody that you really want to show them around or impress, call me.
I'm gonna release this video most likely tomorrow, but as you'll see, like some people just like release videos. If it's a good video, they'll say, all right, well, that was like 2 minutes of a negative interaction, 40 minutes of podcast. I'm not gonna release everything. I think it's important for people to see really good stuff. It's unfortunate they don't get as many views as some of the stuff where there's altercation, but the people that live in this area, and it's helpful because there's guys in other states that are looking at this and saying to their chief, why don't we have this? I mean, I think it's great that you took the time to talk to us because it's excellent for people to see.
You won't make me look that good, thanks.
No. I'm gonna have to get rid of some of that guy's language because he was very. YouTube would not like a lot of the stuff that he had to say. But you guys were phenomenal, and I appreciate your time.
A lot of people will see this.
See, guys, now you can send them more money so they can rehab the other stations, right?
Oh, Press NH has a new video too.
That's the plan. Did you guys, how did it, what, we'll get you out this way or this way?
I'll just walk out this way. We'll walk down. I appreciate it, Chief. Hey, listen, man. Be safe. Thanks again.
That's the heartbreaking thing. I hate to see guys get hurt. We always have a few.
I know it takes a brave person. I always say, listen, it takes a brave fucking person to run into a house that's on fire while everyone else is running out. And the training, like there's nothing like it. I mean,
well, that's the big thing. You know, we got to. That's the thing that people don't get. We got to continue to be trained. These things change all the time.
Of course. Well, you have an excellent rest of your day, and thanks again. Great work, Chief.
Why do you hate him? He is sarcastic.
That's all that it is.
And the drawn out, accent that he loses sometimes. This is James Freeman from earlier.
No.
They're going to check and they will give him right back to you.
I can't. I promised him I wouldn't let him go.
I will give him right back to you. Okay? But you got to promise me. Okay? You got to promise me. That I'll give him to you, and that you can promise me you go to hospital with me and him. We'll ride with him in an ambulance. We'll take you to the hospital.
And I really don't want to, you have to forcibly remove him from you, but if that's the case, I will do that and we will go to jail. So you have one option at this point. You need to get him to the EMT, and you can go on your merry way with your friends and your family who's out there.
That's not Mary at all.
Or I remove him from you and you go to jail. You need to make that decision. You need to make it now, please.
I won't let him go.
Okay. Go ahead and jump that away from me.
Disgusting, man.
Okay, please let him go so he does not get hurt, okay?
Hey guys, this is the story of how staff at St. Luke's Hospital in Boise, Idaho kidnapped a baby. Just kidding. Just kidding. Just kidding, guys. Kidnapping is illegal. People are so powerful that they've managed to legalize their crimes. So they're not really crimes anymore, I guess. So every state has their different statutes that define what exactly kidnapping is. But in general, kidnapping is defined as removing or confining an individual against their will without the legal authority to do so. So how do you get the legal authority to kidnap somebody? Well, first, you start out with a lot of money. Then you lobby politicians and legislators to write laws saying that what you're doing is legal. And throughout history, legislation has been used to convince good people to go against their conscience and say silly things like, well, we got to do what the law says. These people have held different names, such as slave catchers, redcoats, Nazis, and today they call it the blue line. The crazy thing is that the majority of citizens throughout history have just allowed these people to do evil things and even supported them in it because they say, well, they wrote it on paper that they're allowed to do it and called it legislation. If you don't like it, vote harder to change the law. But this particular case of legalized kidnapping goes way farther than most. Because in this particular case, people actually...
Well, he's obviously doing better than he was doing
what was going on
when he was
and got the baby
caught up in his
returned to the
addictions
family.
and in
Then
prison.
after the baby was returned to the parents and more information came
I guess
out
I have a
about
soft
what
spot
actually
for that.
happened, it started becoming questionable whether this was even a legalized kidnapping or if they possibly even violated the legislation to commit this one. And now St. Luke's Hospital is suing those who are speaking out for $7.5 million, which to me looks like another way of saying, if you stand up for your friends, your family, and neighbors and do the right thing, we'll use our multi-million-dollar corporation to destroy your life and take everything that you have, while using the mainstream media to gaslight the world with comments like this.
Damn.
The president and CEO of St. Luke's, Chris Roth, issued a statement saying, "It is important for us to stand up to the bullying, intimidation, and disruption, and the self-serving and menacing actions of these individuals."
The story of how this all began is best told by the YouTube channel Adoptions Simplified, so I'm going to go ahead and let her tell the beginning.
CPS has done it again. They medically kidnapped a baby in Idaho.
So here's the story. Baby Cyrus was exclusively breastfed by his mom, Madison, until about 7.5 months old when she started introducing solid foods. And when she started doing that, the baby started throwing up. So, of course, she tried to figure out what was wrong with the baby, took him from doctor to doctor, from specialist to specialist, and no one could figure out what was wrong with the baby. The baby even got hospitalized at one point so the hospital could do lab tests on him to try to figure out what is it that was causing this baby to throw up all these foods that mom was trying to introduce. And they could find nothing. The hospital even told the mom, this is the healthiest baby that I've ever seen. So they discharged the baby with his parents on a Friday, and they were supposed to follow up with the functional medicine of Idaho that following Monday. Okay. So they went on Monday to the functional medicine of Idaho. They did the visit and they reviewed the baby and everything looked fine. And so they scheduled another visit for that Thursday. Okay. Well, the Wednesday, baby started throwing up again. And so, when they took him to the functional medicine of Idaho that Thursday,
guess.
the nurse did a weight check and they realized that he had lost, I think it was like 1.23 ounces or something. So then the nurse ordered that they come back the very next day, that Friday, so that she could do a weight check. I'm guessing just to make sure that he wasn't losing too much. Well, the following day, when she was supposed to go back, mom wakes up and she is not feeling well. So she calls functional medicine of Idaho and she says to them, I am sick. I'm not feeling well. Let's cancel the appointment. And so that's what happened. So then the hospital tried to call her. The functional medicine of Idaho tried to call her back, but she was sleeping when they called. So on March 11th, 2022, at about 10:20 in the morning, the nurse practitioner from functional medicine of Idaho calls CPS. CPS reaches out to the mom by text, and then they send 2 police cars out to her house. And they demand that her and her husband and the baby go over to the Center for Victims of Abuse. Well, the father of the baby says, no, I'm not going. Okay. So after mom started feeling better, she thought about talking to a family friend who used to be a police officer because she was so just rattled by the fact that these police officers came to her house and asking to escort her to the place for victims of abuse. So her and her husband and the family, they go over to the family friends who used to be a police officer, and they have dinner with them. And when they leave the house and they start going home, they realize that the truck is being followed by the police. So they step at a gas station, the police stops them there, and then the police basically demands that mom lets baby go. So here's what happened at the police station.
For what reason are you arresting him?
Guys,
For what
you're
reason
trying
are
to
you
take baby
arresting
Cyrus
him?
from us. My husband's getting arrested.
No, I'm not moving. For what reason? What crime did I commit? 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 No, you cannot.
No, Miranda, let them. Miranda.
Let me get out. Hang on. I will step out. Out of the car!
Try to get out of the car.
Dad, it's okay. Dad, it's okay. The felony injury child, that's not nice child.
Impact Employment. I'm speaking. I can help you.
Hey guys, no, I can't. Can you please help me right now? You don't understand. I'm a desperate mom right now. I really need your help right now.
Talk to me. Just like talk to me, okay?
Okay.
What are you desperate about? What do you need?
All right. I can't be separated from him. I can't.
Okay.
I didn't do anything
This is
wrong.
a
I know I didn't do
staffing
anything
company.
wrong.
Here's the deal.
This is a very big mistake.
This is a staffing company?
I was
Yeah.
not feeling well. I didn't do any problem to miss an appointment. I've
But
done
you
that
know
before.
that we've been looking for you guys.
It is.
I have reason to explain all that stuff.
Okay, no worries.
We'll give you that
If you're looking for work, though, give us a call back.
We're going to take him to the hospital. If you want to go,
Yep.
you can
Can
come
I
along.
ride with him, please?
Yeah,
We'll get an ambulance.
does happen every day.
Okay. So what I want you to do, though, is give me him. I'll let him back to you. I'll give him right back to you.
You promise me you won't let him
But
in my
these guys are
sight?
going to make sure that you don't have any weapons.
Promise. I
will
promise
stay
that-
right here with him, with you.
I'm not out of my sight.
I will do that. They're going to make sure you don't have any weapons or anything like that. You understand? What's your name?
I can't let him go.
I will stand right here with you. I promise.
You have to to take him from me. I can't.
Okay. It's okay.
No.
No. It's okay. They're gonna check him. They will give him right back to
I
you.
can't. I promised him I wouldn't let him go.
I will give him right back to you. Okay? But you gotta promise me. Okay? You gotta promise me. Okay? I'll give him to you, and that you can promise me you go to hospital with me and him. You'll ride with him in an ambulance. We'll take you to the hospital. Okay? You too. We're worried about him. Make sure he's okay.
I know.
So come with us, okay? And let's take him to the hospital and get that checked out. Okay?
Please don't take him.
I won't take him. I'll stand right here with you.
Can I hold him while you do what you
Oh,
have to
shit.
do?
No, because they gotta check you real quick.
Can they check me while I'm holding him?
Because
Please.
I don't want you to drop. I
No,
stand
I
right
know
here
they can
with
do it. I know they can do it. Please don't let me let go of him. Okay.
Hold on.
Put your phone down so that you can hold him. Watch your step too. Don't.
I'm just kidding. So here, please. I'm filming.
I know you're filming. That's perfectly fine. Where you can go.
There'll be a shelter care hearing, okay, on Tuesday. And that's a hearing that's a hearing you're going to want to go to, okay? The shelter care hearing
Who makes this decision?
will be at 1 o'clock p.m.
Do you know who makes this decision?
Makes what decision?
That he has to go in the state's custody.
Well, we have.
You have?
Based on what the doctors have told us.
So right there, the police tells them the whole reason they've been surrounded by men with guns, her husband's been arrested, and her baby is being taken is because of something that the doctors at St. Luke's Hospital told them.
We have.
You have?
Based on what the doctors have told us.
I can't, please.
Okay? We go off of what all the information we can get from doctors and all that.
I
Okay?
can't. I'm not going to leave him. I'm not.
This is how it's going to go, okay?
No, do you understand? He's my baby. I'm not going to leave him.
Marissa, I'm trying to explain this to you, okay? So there will be a shelter care hearing on Tuesday at 1 o'clock.
All right.
Okay, and you're going to want to attend that. Okay, and that's what your part of this is. Okay, that's your next step in this. We have nobody wants to take people's children away from them. We want to get the child back to you in a healthy state. No, we want to make sure that kid is healthy. We want to get these kids healthy. Sometimes what are we doing?
Oh, I'm streaming.
Oh, it's live streaming?
Yeah.
Okay.
So listen, here's my thing. I understand you want to get him better. Why can't I be with him while you're doing the medical work? How am I in danger to him if I'm just watching and I'm with him?
Okay. Well, we're going to go ahead and go with just what I just told you, okay?
So you're gonna
this
take
is
him. No.
this listen.
No, I
this
can't.
is what we're going to do, okay? This is your copy. You're going to want this.
I can't. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna leave him.
Well, this is how it's going to be.
I
Okay.
can't leave him.
Thank you.
All right. So, Marissa, I need you to hand over the baby to the EMT.
I won't. I won't.
I really
Can you
don't
please help
want
me
you to
out?
go to jail tonight. But I'm telling you, if you don't allow this to happen, you're going to jail.
For how long?
That's not up to you. But you will be placed under arrest if you do not comply with what we're asking you to comply with. So if you could please hand him over. So
Yeah, please give up your child who's clinging to you.
And I understand that you'll have a chance to get him back at some point, okay? The state's all about reunification, but right now,
But they're not.
we need to move this. Okay? And I really don't want to have to forcibly remove him from you, but if that's the case, I will do that and you will go to jail. So you have one option at this point. You need to get him to the EMT and you can go on your merry way with your friends and your family who's out there.
That's not Mary at all.
Or I remove him from you and you go to jail. You need to make that decision. You need to make it now.
I won't let him go.
Okay.
Go ahead and jump out of the way for me. Okay, please let him go so he does not get hurt, okay? Come here, little buddy.
Marissa, I promise I'll take good care of him.
You promise?
I promise I will take good care of him, okay?
Meridian police took baby Cyrus to St. Luke's Hospital in Meridian, Idaho, where he was checked out and determined to be in good health. But instead of being returned to his parents the following day, he was transferred to St. Luke's in Boise, Idaho. So little did the police or the hospital know that the parents of this particular baby were members of a group called People's Rights. People often ask me, if you don't like police, then who are you going to call when you need help? Well, for 65,000 members of People's Rights, the answer is they'll contact their neighbors. With an increase in rights violations, police abuse, and overall government overreach, People's Rights is essentially a network to help you get together with local people in your area to stand up for each other. The call went out over People's Rights, and the next day, over 400 people showed up at St. Luke's to demand the release of baby Cyrus.
I think it's 100% wrong. I think it's a Waco for Idaho. I think they way overstepped their grounds. We need to stand up against this tyranny and do what's right for the family and for our future generations.
As a mother, it's horrifying that the state just kidnap children.
This mama doesn't co-parent with the government.
And if Idahoans don't believe this could happen to them, then they haven't been paying attention.
I am totally opposed to what's happening. I as a legislator would definitely be behind this family 110%. I would make sure that we would be doing everything possible to help the family get that baby back. The longer that baby is not in their hands, the worse the situation becomes.
There are a lot of things that are in question. You know, you've got an unelected bureaucratic agency like CPS. You've got the healthcare industry, which is healthcare tyranny, and then you have the ability for them
Just
to
tell me that the
that
sound was
CPS
horrible.
can just tell the cops what to do, take a child out of the mother's hands, and everybody thinks that that's okay.
This is better, isn't it?
It's absolutely not okay. At some point, we're all going to have to be able to. We're going to have to draw a line in that sand.
You know, if you want to be an armchair activist and sit at home and say Diego loves attention or Ammon loves getting arrested and loves attention, that's you being complacent, not wanting to face what's really happening out here to our liberty. So why don't you stop complaining and stop name calling and get your butt out here with us and stand for freedom?
Any person is going to protect the child, and this is abuse, government abuse, stealing babies from parents. This is unacceptable.
YouTuber Garth Gaylord posted these videos showing what the protests actually looked like. Men, women, and children gathering together peacefully to protest something that they believe is wrong. At no point in any of the videos posted either by YouTubers or even by mainstream media do we ever see protesters blocking driveways or trying to interfere with business in any way. After 6 or 7 days of protesting, the baby was finally released back to his parents. But the story certainly doesn't end there. One of the days during the protests, in an attempt to look like the victims, St. Luke's put the hospital on lockdown for 2 hours. Then St. Luke's decided to sue both People's Rights, the owner of People's Rights, and the grandfather of baby Cyrus.
Idaho's largest healthcare provider says they will not be intimidated by bullies. Our top story tonight, St. Luke's health system suing Ammon Bundy, among others, after protests in March led to a lockdown.
Ammon Bundy?
That lawsuit seeks $50,000 for what they call the coordinated campaign of harassment and intimidation against the hospital. If the hospital system wins, St. Luke says they'll donate the money to CARES, or the Children at Risk Evaluation Service. These protests surrounded the case of a child taken into medical custody in March because doctors were worried about his health. Bundy and many of his followers protested outside of the
Yeah,
hospital
they're shutting down a St. Luke's
to put the facility
by
on
me.
lockdown.
Well,
The president and
ProMedica's
CEO
buying
of
them
St.
out.
Luke's, Chris Roth, issued a
But it's the
statement
same.
saying it is
It's the same
important
company.
for us to stand up to the bullying, intimidation, and disruption, and the self-serving and menacing actions of these individuals for the protection of our employees and patients, and to ensure our ability to serve our community. We have requested comment from both St. Luke's and Ammon Bundy, but have not yet heard back. Bundy is joined by Diego Rodriguez, Freedom Man Press, People's Rights Network, and Freedom Man PAC as defendants on the suit.
So the grandfather of baby Cyrus operates a webpage called freedomman.org and also a YouTube channel called Freedom Man. For all the details about this incident, including videos, photos, documents, and much more pertaining to this, this is the website to go to. But as Diego continued to gather new information about what happened and post the information on his website and on YouTube, the St. Luke's attorneys continued to amend their legal complaint, claiming more and more damages as more and more details of what really happened.
Yeah, that would be a
came
happy
out,
ending, but
including official
cops aren't in
documents from
jail.
St. Luke's stating that baby Cyrus was never in imminent danger, which is the requirement in order for CPS to be able to kidnap, steal, take children from home. So how did we go from friends, family, and neighbors peacefully protesting to have a baby reunited with his parents to the government going after Ammon Bundy again? Well, Ammon Bundy is the one who started People's Rights, the organization that people used to get in contact with each other and rally hundreds of protesters until the baby was released. Since St. Luke's CEO Chris Roth is super big mad that the community peacefully stood up and got the baby returned, he sued the organizations that were used as a mechanism to get it done. Clearly, this organization, the People's Rights, is a threat to tyranny, and since nobody broke any laws, the government couldn't retaliate with arrests. So Chris Roth and St. Luke's decided to retaliate with a bogus lawsuit in what appears to be an attempt to destroy people's rights and what Chris Roth sees as the ringleaders in fighting for parents' rights. So after the lawsuit was filed, Ammon Bundy made a strategic, informed decision not to respond to the lawsuit. No, seriously, but stick with me, it makes sense. So when you refuse to respond or answer to a lawsuit, the judge is supposed to enter a default judgment in favor of the plaintiff. His reasoning was that St. Luke's had spent an estimated $500,000 to file probably hundreds of thousands of papers in court that would take him at least $500,000 in attorney's fees to respond to. At the time that he made this decision, they were demanding $300,000, which split between Bundy and Diego would be $150,000 each. Therefore, they could save both time and money by allowing a default judgment to be entered rather than even going and defending themselves. But instead of entering the default judgment, the judge kept the case open for almost a year, allowing St. Luke's to amend the complaint 4 times, increasing their demands to where it's at now, $7.5 million, before the judge finally entered the default judgment. Even still, even as wrong as this all is, Ammon Bundy says, okay, you've made a judgment against me, you can take everything that I own and I won't try to resist you. So even though Ammon has agreed to give them everything that he owns, the St. Luke's attorneys and Chris Roth still want Ammon dragged into civil court on a case that's already been ruled on. As a matter of fact, they've convinced the judge to put out a criminal warrant for Ammon Bundy for not showing up to these civil proceedings. A judge putting out a criminal warrant for somebody refusing to show up for civil proceedings is unprecedented. It's never happened in the United States before. But Ammon Bundy has already spent 2 years of his life in prison, one of those years in solitary confinement, with no bond, simply awaiting trial in cases that he was never even convicted of anything on. He says that he will not willingly go back and have his liberty taken like that again. With all the crap that St. Luke's, Chris Roth, and others have tried to throw into this to dirty it up, it's still only about one thing. It's about baby Cyrus being stripped from wonderful, caring, amazing parents in an attempt to put him into foster care. It's about a bunch of people peacefully exercising their First Amendment rights to protest and to redress government for grievances. It's about exposing every single person involved in this disgusting process of stripping kids from good homes, which also includes employees of St. Luke's who caused this to happen, who are specifically called out on Diego's website. Anyone who's ever had their child stripped from them by CPS knows that it's a horrifying experience, and there is little to no remedy for the situation. If Chris Roth, the CEO of St. Luke's, can spend $500,000 to shut these people up, you better believe he can spend enough money to shut you up. This has been going on for a long time, and no one of us has the power to fight it. But I do believe that if we all stand together against this, we can continue to make progress. And we can send a message to St. Luke's and Chris Roth that we will not be bullied, and we will not be intimidated, and we will not have our children ripped from our homes anymore. I put a link below to the Freedom Man website. Go there and check out all the details about this entire story, as well as to get more information about what CPS and the foster care system is doing in the US with the help of a lot of healthcare professionals. Also, head over to peoplesrights.org and sign up. It gives you a ton of resources for you to be able to network with the neighbors in your area so that you can work together and stand up together against tyranny. The resources provided by People's Rights Network can be a huge asset to each and every one of us in our own communities. But besides that, how super big mad do you think St. Luke's, Chris Roth, and CPS would be if the People's Rights Network membership skyrocketed as a direct result of them spending $500,000 to try to shut the People's Rights Network up? And I leave you with this statement that I may or may not have plagiarized from Chris Roth. It is important for us to stand up to the bullying, intimidation, and disruption, and the self-serving and menacing actions of these individuals, including Chris Roth, St. Luke's Hospital, CPS, the foster care system.
This has been going on a
and
long
everyone
time, though.
who helps them strip
How long ago
children
did
from good
they raid the Bundy
You
Ranch
see, Chris Roth,
to
you
arrest
are the
him
one who
over
is
this
harming
shit?
innocent people who haven't harmed anybody else. You are the one who has spent $500,000 to try to bully and silence those who have spoken out. And I'm here to tell you that you can take everything from every one of us, but we will not be bullied and we will not shut up. And you can try to get your filthy judge to put a gag order on every single one of us. But the Streisand effect is already working. The harder you work towards trying to silence all of us, the more people become interested in why you're trying to silence us.
Okay. Let's go here for a minute. I got to type a letter real quick, or just fill in the blanks on the letter. This is Trucking with Callahan. Yeah, it's been a while. Let them know we're watching.
Yeah, animal videos will help your channel. The key to growing, what I'm told, is 7 shorts in 7 days. Well, that's looking pretty nasty up ahead there, huh? Indoctrination, 3 streaming days, hell yeah. Good to see you, eh? Thanks for coming in. Appreciate you. You are welcome, Tom. Everybody, please go subscribe to Tom. Link is up in the chat. Here's the scale house coming up. Let's see if we got the full in. Yep, we got a full in. Unless it's closed. And it is open.
Impact employment. I'm actually just finishing it up right now. I was just going to send it back to him via PDF through a text. You'll just have to click on it and it'll open right up. Yeah, I had a bunch of interviews this morning, so I'm just not getting to it, but I'm doing it right now. All right. Yep.
Nice to see that cup didn't have a blue line flag on it. Good.
What the fuck?
See you, brother. Love seeing everybody helping each other out, man. It's awesome.
Did that not save? Where the fuck did it go? Sorry, guys.
But the weather sure went south quick, didn't it?
says it's there. There it is. That's so weird. I can't find it though. So weird. Okay. All right. Let's find something else. We'll keep that going in the background while we look at other things.
It's a great way to do American things. And one of those American things is freedom of speech and freedom of the press. Freedom of the press means you have the right, the unalienable right, not privilege, the right to record in public. That is a guaranteed constitutional right here on American soil. But it turns out that people who are called,
I remember this. This was accountability for all,
who swore to protect, defend, and uphold that right, are too busy demolishing it. And because they do that, a lot of people get in their minds that it's not a right, it's a wrong. And even though there's surveillance equipment and cameras everywhere, and no matter where I go, there's facial recognition technology and it's recording me, one more camera is the last straw. So if I see an American exercising their right on American soil, doing American things and exercising their right, I'm going to view that as a wrong and I'm going to attack. Case in point, Josh Abrams and Leroy from Leroy Truth Investigation and Josh from Accountability for All are walking in a public library in Lexington, Massachusetts, minding their own business, recording in public. Remember, photography, public photography is a crime, even though some people act like it is. Roll the film.
Really? He's had several channels taken down because of his activism. I've seen this live, so I don't need to see it again. I thought it was something different.
What are you?
What am I? I'm a human being. Person. I'm sure. Yeah, I'm making something. But you were
The guy freaks out, snatches his camera, and they demand an apology. Oh, Batusi actually has some content. Wow, 77 dislikes. He's gonna kill him.
Did I ever tell you?
But I'll get the college.
Yeah, well, he's tamed himself down quite a bit. It used to be the high impact. What he has in the actual name. It's called Here's the Deal now, but it used to be called High Impact Audits or something like that.
Hey, what's your badge number?
Hey, we're dealing with something right now, so you can go over there and wait, and I'll talk to you in a second. We're in the middle of something. Okay?
Y'all free to go?
Don't interfere.
Hey, what's your badge number? What you're in the middle of?
Well, I was live earlier today.
So, how close until? Any closer than that? When we get back?
Huh? Just keep an eye on him.
Yeah,
Yeah, just keep an eye on him. If you want, you can shine your light right there at him just so you can see him better. That's all I was doing, just shining so I can see.
You need to log the film. You just see if he starts interfering. That's the issue. So.
Yeah, and you don't have to engage at all. I just I was saying something because he's asking what's my badge number. So I didn't have to say anything at all, but I'm letting him know. Just giving him that verbal warning. We're dealing with something, not dealing with you. Once we clear up over here, we can get in our vehicles. We can leave. We don't have to engage with him. He's not on a call. He has nothing to do with us. You don't even have to look his way.
So we're gonna. I mean, we still staying down here though, running it.
Yeah, we can do whatever we want to do. I'm just saying we don't have to engage with him.
I'm not gonna go.
I'm not gonna go over there and go out of my way to walk across the road to provide him my name and badge.
I'm not gonna change the way I do my job if he wants to film. So I'm not gonna stop enforcing the traffic. That's what you're asking.
Yeah.
They don't dictate how we do it.
I see plenty of live people. Yeah, it did hurt him quite a bit. But he's made a bit of a comeback.
It's always a ball header wins.
The Wolverine Transparency actually has a premiere coming up.
Still in the middle of something? Can I get your name and badge number? Is it part of your policy to give me your name and badge number?
Guess not.
Exactly when someone isn't paying attention.
白色就是你可能跟网络还没有连
Hi,
接好。
Charles.
These
Welcome
headbands
back.
measure each student's level
Curious
of
as to what,
concentration. The information is then
going on this
directly
week?
sent to the teacher's computer and to parents.
做出选择吧。
This is
Classrooms
one
have
with impact
robots that
employment.
analyze students' health and engagement levels. Students wear uniforms with chips that track
Okay.
communication.
Well, I sent you a message
There are
and stuff,
even
and just
surveillance cameras
trying to
that
figure out what was
monitor
going
how
on.
often students check their phones or yawn during classes. But schools say it wasn't hard for them getting parental
No,
consent.
okay. Well, oh no,
to what is one of the world's largest
I'm glad you're getting
experiments
taken
in
care of.
AI
We hadn't heard
education.
from you, so we didn't know what
A
was going
program
on.
that's supposed to boost students' grades
Oh,
while
wow.
also feeding powerful algorithms.
Okay.
Holy
I'm glad you're
freaking!
getting it taken care of.
It's not robots helping
What
the
kind of
students.
estimates
It's
do you have
students
on your healing?
that are becoming the robots. But
Oh, do you think
more
you'll be back
importantly,
Monday?
teaching kids what to think
All right.
and
all
not
right.
how to
Good
think
hear. I'll
is
let
not
them know.
education.
I'm just curious.
It's
They said
indoctrination.
you're doing
That's
great.
exactly
They
what's
said you're
happening
doing.
there. And
Yeah, they said you're doing a
here
great
as well.
job. They just-
Welcome
You're
back,
welcome.
beautiful
We
and
don't know what
amazing
happened.
human beings. My name's
All right, man.
Zukadowski here.
Have a
We
good
are
weekend.
change.org, and there is a lot of absolutely crazy and wild news to get into today that is definitely leaving a lot of people bewildered, as of course it looks like we're having the end of woke Vice News and the end of the woke fluoridated beverage that has been associated with some very questionable behavior. What does this bigger downfall mean and represent, especially when it comes to understanding our current social and media landscape? Well, we're going to be talking about that, plus a lot more, all here on this independent media organization. If you like the shirt that I'm wearing right now, you could get it on thebestpoliticalshirts.com. Very important message that I wish a lot of people understood. That definitely the Chinese government does not understand, as of course we just saw a clip of what's happening in several Chinese classrooms of them using the latest surveillance artificial intelligence technology in order to scan the brain waves of children in order to make sure that they're being good, obedient little regurgitators of state propaganda. Again, these high-tech headbands, these cameras looking at everyone's facial expression, their eye contact, how many times they yawn, how many times they fart. All this aggregation is absolutely terrifying, is absolutely scary, as of course this is what is the blueprint for the rest of the world that many powerful internationalists have been using as a way to subjugate and control populations, which they're doing through a social credit score, which already exists here in the United States, but it's a corporate one. In China, it's a more overt one, but in the United States, it's already being utilized in many different ways and could be rolled out very quickly in a way where a lot of people would be absolutely shocked. Now, if you're able to aggregate so much data on the children as they're developing and as they're learning or being indoctrinated, you implement it into the social credit score that literally displays people's faces, IDs, and addresses at local bus stops, shaming their citizens who are on the blacklist and criticize the government there. Holy frickin' cow, you have yourself a dystopian nightmare. And in America, it's important to point out that a lot of the indoctrination usually comes in many forms of entertainment that somehow people like to think is very diverse and comes from many different companies and many different opinions, when in reality there's mega media conglomerates that all agree on the same talking points and all regurgitate them nightly, not just on the corporate media, but of course also late night television shows that we're finding out will have to shut down production today, as of course there is an argument happening between Hollywood writers that have agreed to go on strike, and now the puppets no longer have a hand inside of them, and they can't have a talk show by themselves. They can't hold dialogue. They can't hold a conversation by themselves without a team of writers. They can't talk without a script here. Very telling here, as of course it's important to understand here that a lot of these late night TV show hosts all of course hold the same political position on many key issues that they never deviate from, and also act like a protection racket for when of course it comes to protecting the Overton window and another formerly large mega corporation that sold out to the powers that be, that used to be actually interesting but now also just turned into woke crap. Vice News is actually in trouble, as just a couple hours ago we found out from the New York Times that they are headed towards bankruptcy. This definitely signaling an end to an era. And let's be honest here, Vice and Vice News for the last few years has been absolutely a horrible institution that has had a net negative on society, according to my own personal opinion, and has largely been known as a propaganda outlet, pushing many psyopses, establishment talking points, and being good, obedient protectors of the establishment. This, as of course they have previously partnered and worked very closely with the State Department, Bank of America, and many other corrupted institutions that of course were pushing an agenda rather than actual, news reporting, which they were originally known for. This, as the company was previously valued in 2017 at being worth $5.7 billion, with over 3,000 employees. That evaluation is definitely a lot different now, as of course, a lot of people are using this opportunity to say go woke, go broke. And it's fair to say that Vice News was the mecca of wokeness, especially in their hipster confines of Williamsburg, Brooklyn, that pushed a lot of bastardized, degenerate ideas on the American people. The president of El Salvador used this situation to say, quote, "It seems like Soros's money also ran out." This as Vice News was 2 months away from taking a lot of money from Mr. Soros and 2 other major hedge funds, selling themselves out just like they did many years before that to some of the biggest corporations in the world. A previous reporter for Vice News, Simon Ostrovsky, had this to say about the situation, saying, quote, "I first met Shane in 2011. Shane was one of the founders of Vice News. Quote, in a Japanese restaurant on Russia's Chinese border. He was a week late to a shoot I had meticulously produced on North Korea's slave labor. He spent the whole meal talking about gold watches he owned. Who would have thunk Vice would fail?" This as the media organization took a big turn from actually doing on-the-ground investigations towards promoting big pharma, telling people to shut up and not to question larger institutions, and to be nice, obedient little slaves that should be guinea pigs for unaccountable mega corporations. Let's not also forget, they also called for the end of free speech, the censorship of political ideas and expression, and have been one of the biggest advocates when it comes to not just degeneracy, but towards silencing any form of dissent. And this is why, for this video specifically, I decided to team up with PrivateInternetAccess.com, a VPN company that now you could get tried and will continue to try to ban VPNs, all in the name of trying to protect you. And again, they're not trying to protect you. You got to protect yourself. And this is why authoritarians always want to censor and shut off your data, your access to the internet. And one way to safeguard it in the future and to have more privacy, especially if you're using public Wi-Fi, which you should be very careful of, you should always try to hide your IP. And that's why you should try PrivateInternetAccess.com. The link to the website is down in the description below. You can click on it right now. Check them out. They have 24/7 customer service, a very easy way to configure your VPN, a ton of satisfied customers. It's quick, it's easy, it's simple, and you can try them risk-free right now just by going to piavpn.com/wearechange, piavpn.com/wearechange. And it's great working with a company that we actually believe in and personally use ourselves. Now, according to some internet experts, you need multiple VPNs, but that's another subject to very similar subjects that we discuss on LukeUnfiltered.com, which we're going to have another video later on for you today about, specifically more hot button issues that we can't discuss. So stay tuned for that video right after this one, as of course we are still not done here, as the discredited corporate media is still trying to take shots at Tucker Carlson, one of America's biggest news anchors ever, as Radar Online has just published a piece that's titled "His Reputation is in Tatters. Tucker Carlson's career is in turmoil after Fox News firing, as no major network will touch him." And in reality, that is just wishful thinking by Radar Online, as of course Tucker Carlson released a small, short video on Twitter that got way more views than any news show in all of the United States. As of right now, we're also finding out that Media Matters is releasing some leaked, stolen video footage that actually personalizes Tucker Carlson and has him pretending to be like Bill O'Reilly, making fun of him. One of the clips just looks like a direct deep fake. Who knows what kind of crap they're putting out there anymore. But according to some sources, it looks like the president of Ukraine might have had a hand in possibly nudging Rupert Murdoch towards firing Tucker Carlson. Again, what happened here, we still do not know. But one thing is clear is that Fox News is definitely in trouble, as well as many other bigger financial institutions that are signaling some very troubling times ahead. We talked about this a little bit in yesterday's video, specifically talking about JP Morgan and Chase. That looks like the U.S. government just used them in order to buy up a smaller bank. Could that be because JP Morgan and Chase is in some really hot water with some really bad people that they incentivized and helped allegedly? Well, again, we're going to be talking about that on LukeUnfiltered.com later on, right after this video. But I think it's clear to say the financial markets aren't really looking that good. As of course, the president of the United States is now publicly coming out and trying to reassure people that the banking system is safe and sound. And when you hear the government saying that, it definitely makes people wonder what's really going on here, especially with Reuters releasing articles like this, trying to get Biden to use the 14th Amendment in order to avert a debt default. And when you look at the U.S. debt and the U.S. debt clock here, specifically in the United States, it's shocking, to say the least, to see what currently is going on in the United States and how far we have come to the utter destruction of our current system. Another company that's not doing so well today is, of course, also Anheuser-Busch, the Bud Light company that, of course, is promoting alcoholic beverages to small children on TikTok using grown adult males that like to dress up as dolls. This, as today we're finding out that Bud Light sales are continuing to dropping an estimated 21% in the wake of their Dylan Mulvaney endorsement, as they just have deactivated their comments on their latest country-themed advertisement, as many people aren't buying their crap. Again, look how desperate they are. Now that they're doing country-themed beer advertisements, get out of here. And it's not just the right wing that they pissed off. It's also the left wing now that they pissed off, as a prominent LGBT magazine is now advocating for the boycott of Bud Light because they're somehow validating trans hate. Now, exactly how Bud Light is doing that, I don't know. They've been trying to be very careful here. As we know, the Trump family has come out in support of Bud Light. And I think the conversation around all of this should be that booze is bad and that we should be trying to avoid it since, of course, it gives people moobs, gets rid of testosterone, and absolutely calcifies your pineal gland. But that's another story. And with the economy getting worse, you could expect crime to get even worse from here. As in Chicago over this past weekend, 27 people were shot, 5 fatally, all in the gun-free zone where firearms are not allowed. You know what we need now? More of that somehow. That's definitely going to help everybody. But don't worry, Davos and the World Economic Forum are creating an artificial intelligence workforce filled with diversity and innovation and other buzzwords that don't amount to anything but really do accumulate in the human enslavement of free humanity and the subjugation of the human spirit and will. Get out of here with your Bud Light. Get out of here with your Fox News. There's a revolution happening. Sayonara, Vice News. You won't be missed. Times are changing, and I think they're changing for the good. What do you think? Let me know down in the comment section below. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys, and this is why. I love you guys. Stay tuned for more here on wearechange.org. One more video coming your way right now on lukeunfiltered.com. A very spicy one. See you there.
Yeah, if you're ASC certified, it should be a standard across the board. Appreciate you, Doc. Razor City, what's up, brother? All right, Todd, you have a good one, man. Well, that's what I'm saying, Pink. There should be a standard across the board for it, instead of it being a per state thing. Rockport Rice, what's up, man?
All right. Well, everybody knows Trucking with Callahan. If you don't, please sub to him. I'll drop one more link. That's his. It's been dropped a few times, but I'm going to drop it one more time. I'm going to kill the stream. Took care of some work. We may be on later. It's 2 streams today. We may have one more tonight for poker or something. If you're down, Aiden. Peace, everybody. Yeah, I gotta.
No, you shouldn't have.
All right.
Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make.
Yo, I got a lot of shit to say, so I'ma do this every day. I'll be writing things until I'm fucking buried in my grave. 6 feet deep under, but my body won't decay. Cause my messages are timeless, so they'll put them on display. Oh yeah, I rap with a certainty, I have a sense of urgency. A message for eternity, for everyone internally. I had some people burning me, but now they fucking learn to see I ain't the one to fuck with. Now they looking nervously, and I don't really care what you think of me respectfully. You can kick rocks if you think you're fucking better, see. I will outwork you, turn you to an enemy. Hurt you so bad that you're gonna need some therapy. I got the motherfucking recipe. I've been cooking up hits, I'ma leave a legacy. You'll be looking small when you're standing right next to me. I'm 5'10", bitch, but I'm 10 feet next to me.
I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make.